listening to the Gettin' Salty Experience podcast.
And away we go. Welcome back, Leatherhead Nation. Boy, do we got a hoot for you tonight. I just met this guy, and I love him already, bro. He's a funny guy. Love him, love him, love him. Welcome back to the Gettin' Salty Experience podcast, the only one in the whole wide world. The real one, the only one that brings the Firehouse kitchen table.
He ain't lying.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of imitators.
A lot of impersonators.
Yep. But they can't duplicate.
No bueno.
Bro. Nope. No go. No go. We're fresh off our Pittsburgh trip. I'm freshened up with a whole glass of Tito's. I'm ready to rock and roll. Ta-da. Welcome, my friend Rufy, my lifelong chum and pal.
What's up, buddy? How you doing today?
I don't know. I posted that picture of me and you when the squad started, and I love it. I knew it was going to get all that.
We got a little bit of the. I saw some Top Gun memes.
Yeah,
that meme where the guys are clapping hand, like they're doing the high five from over the top down low. Yeah. That's freaking hilarious.
I thought you were gonna call Louis just now your life partner, which was gonna be disturbing.
Come on, I did.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Pete, if that's what you're into, that's fine. I would never hold it against you.
I've never done this before. So just so everybody knows, we're supposed to have old man Bob Camberg on, but
Bob Camberg can't do it.
He's 83. He's not feeling well again, so we had to go to the bullpen. I must have called about 20 people, short notice, and I'm not going to say who it is, but the man stepped up.
He stepped up to the plate big time.
Saved our butts tonight.
And he's got great stories.
Already. I can't wait to hear him.
He's got a great career. And there's a lot of ants. And he's got a great outfit on. I love it. But before we get Pete, why don't you give us the shameless plugs? I take his face, I push it into the desk. I say, you buy this fucking car, bro.
Yeah, that was the entire car ride back. Fantastic.
Oh, my God. So fun.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, guys, as you all know, and you've seen before, we're brought to you by GettinSaltyApparel.com. That's right. T-shirts like the ones that Kevin and Lou are wearing, hats, tumblers, Legaso, my favorite. Tumbler keeps everything ice cold. Ice cold. That's where I like my beer.
Tito's not included.
Tito's not included.
No.
And guys, we've got everything. We've got fire blowing out the top floor, lighters. We got bottle openers, wine bottle openers for your old ladies box T-shirts. I mean, come on, you guys know the deal already. And if you don't, get on over to Gettin' Salty Apparel for all your firefighter apparel and accessory needs. If you want to support us and support the show, thank you very much. And guys, also, if you want to support the show, everybody in the chat tonight, you can break us off a little something in the super chat, which does really help us out a lot.
Unless you're Milner, the Jew.
Oh my God!
Hey,
my God!
Larry.
All right.
Great pick of you guys tonight. We carried extra hair gel when I had hair.
But anyway, by the way, just so everyone knows that for the show this weekend on Long Island, the big fire show, Mr. Ray Seeley and Mikey Milner are planning on having some sort of a public debate. I don't know about what, but if they don't do it on camera and in our booth, then you're banned from the show. You'll be
Yes, come out and see us at Hofstra. We'll be out there at the Long Island Buff Show. We'll have Mikey Milner and Fat Daddy Ray coming to the booth, and quite possibly Chief Steve making an appearance. Quite possibly.
And also, guys, keep an eye out for footage coming, segments coming out from the past show last weekend in Pittsburgh. I'm working on that diligently. I should have something for everybody by tomorrow night. You'll have your first piece, and then things will be cruising along through the summer. And that, my friends, look at that. Everybody in the super chat's blowing us up. Thanks, boys. You got hold on a second here. Great pick from BC Todd. Great pick of you guys from 98. Did you carry extra bottles of hair gel in your turnout coats?
Yep.
We got good evening, fellas, from the Rev. Love seeing y'all. Shalom, Pete. Shalom, Rev. Wow. And we got one from FXDFNY. Ask Larry if he remembers taking the Troy guys to. You see what I mean? Here he goes. He's not even on yet. We'll ask him in a minute. Hey, Rob Bates. Thank you, buddy. All right.
Sweet. So let's bring him in. Let's bring in the Big Mac attack right here, bro.
Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy of them all. The Big Mac, 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickle, and specialty bun. Here he is, the Mac attack. Lieutenant Mac.
Hey.
That's the Irishman of the year right there. In case you didn't know what that meant.
Wow. With his green jacket on, just like the Masters. He was the Irishman. What year was that? Were you the Irishman of the year?
2015.
But once Irishman of the year, always Irishman of the year. That's what I said.
It was you. I heard it was you and Conor McGregor were up that year, but you beat him out by a slim 50-vote margin. But you did good. I heard.
Nice.
I did share it with another great Irishman, Jerry Pringle from the pipe band. So it was a
it was a coat. Oh, the next year, I think the next year was the guy, the Lucky Charms guy from the cereal box. He was,
you know, the word on the street, Larry, is that jacket could stand up in the corner. You wear it so much to the firehouse functions. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's right.
It waits for him at the door. Come on, Larry. Volleyball.
My God.
Nah, we got him.
And there he is. Love him. And
I love
I gotta
that.
say this. He came in real cold to the bullpen. Last minute, we were up in arms because the old codger there, the guy tapped out on us. So we kind of traded an old codger for a less old codger, and we got Larry Mack here.
All right. He
The
hasn't
guy-
even
the
said
guy
3
was
words. You guys are into
literally-
his coat. You're into his codgering over here.
I love it.
Literally,
That
the
Pete?
guy just came home. We're going to talk about it later in the show.
The 11th
But
hour.
he got back in the house at 6:30 and washed up, threw a pizza down his throat, and he's ready to go.
Hey, this
So
guy's
we appreciate it. Believe me.
This guy's a champion. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yes, there it is.
Somebody in the chat saying you're one of the funniest people he ever met. What's his
Larry
name?
Workus. Lathy Workus.
Workus. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. And then who else was asking something back here? Stand by. There's already.
He was on the
questions.
343 ride with you.
Okay. Well, we have about 75 riders. We'll get into that later.
Mikey Milner says 19 truck always shows up.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure to know Mike a little bit from his reputation in 15 and 19, and I did actually work in Rescue 4 one tour with Mike. So
Is that right?
So,
Murray.
Really? Mario didn't buy you lunch, that's for sure. All right, so let's dive right in.
He was on the corner burning bread in Brooklyn. That's what I heard.
And at Mac, let's dive right into this. So where you from originally? What neighborhood you from? Where you born?
I was born in Flushing, Queens.
Flushing.
Did they? I'm wondering if they had a word of the day in Flushing, Queens.
Oh, they did, Pete. Thanks for reminding me. And in Flushing, Queens, the word of the day is
Big Mac.
Oh!
Salud.
Show the boys what you're drinking tonight.
I was just going
Lieutenant.
to say that. He was telling us in the pre-show.
So this is a special blend of Irish whiskey. It's called the Fighting 69th. My mom had 2 brothers in the Fighting 69th, the National Guard of New York, and they were both killed in World War II. One on the island of Saipan, the other one of Macon. And in their honor, having a whiskey with them tonight, and they've never forget also like our brothers.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I like it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a Big Mac just for that. Here's to Larry's uncle.
Hey.
I can't feel my face.
All right. So you grew up in Flushing before the Asian invasion, I would imagine.
Now it's called Flushing.
Right.
They've officially changed it.
Not there's anything wrong with Asians.
Not that there's
maybe,
anything wrong with it.
Maybe
No.
married to one. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe you. I don't know what. So you grew up in Flushing, and was your dad a fireman? What got you interested in the fire service?
Well, actually, my father was a
Look at that guy.
steam fitter, Union 638. His father was in the steam fitter business in the city, my uncle. And in the late 70s, getting out of high school in 1976, and I was going to community college, my father said, "You're really not college material." And
Brutal honesty. Love
yeah,
it.
yep. And he said, the trades at the time were a little slow in New York. And he said, you'll get in, become a fitter, but you might be out of work here and there. I'm going to work before you work. And he said, you better take the civil service test. So I took the bus driving, the train, the sanitation, the police, the post, whatever you name it. Fire department came up, and for some reason I got really interested in it. My father was a volunteer ambulance driver in Flushing, Queens, before the way we have 911 now.
Right.
He worked every other Saturday night. I think he did it to get out of the house. 4 kids.
I don't blame him, huh?
Allegedly.
Yes. And I ended up taking a test, and
So you had no contact before that or anything going on about the fire department. You just took the test, they called, and that was it.
I didn't know a fireman. I didn't know the hours. I didn't know
Really?
going to have the next 36 years. So,
Wow.
You could have been a steam fitter, and his father was a steam fitter, and his brothers were steam fitters.
yeah.
And
My
before
uncle,
that-
my three uncles on my mother's side were steam fitters.
They're all steam fitters.
Right. So,
All right. Well, lucky us, man, that you got on the job.
I'm more than extremely lucky, and I ended up 865 on the list. I'm not a big guy, 5'6". The physical was different that time, which we can get into later or not. And they don't have the classes that they have now working out for the test.
Right.
And I'd like to give a plug out to a fireman. You probably know him. He retired, Chief John Plant.
Yeah, sure.
So John was a physical ed teacher at the YMCA. He just happened to be in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And there was a class. And me, myself, and 3 or 4 of my friends would drive there 3 times a week, pay like $5. And John had a piece of 2x4. You just have to walk the plank against with the mask on, and he had the dummy and the broad jump, whatever we did. And I did run into John many, many years later, and I thanked him. If he didn't push us through the physical.
You had the one with the 2 minute. You had to hold the pull up and the ledge. Yeah. That was a tough test, man.
Yep. So I appreciate what John Plant did for me and the guys that I worked out with. So.
Nice.
So you get on at 79. You go into the academy in May of 79, May 19th, 79.
Yep. I probably could have been in the class before that. They called me probably in like mid February for the next class. And as you can see, one of the younger pictures of me, I probably looked like I was 14, 15, 16 years old.
I thought that's when you got on the job?
Well, that's
that picture?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Petey, put that picture back up.
Hold on.
Come on, are you kidding?
Wait a minute. The one with the curly hair, not this one.
The one with the blue.
That.
No, that's later. I got my hair grown. The blue shirt and tie on.
Yeah, this one. When he's a gentleman.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I thought they was saying you were.
No.
I'm like, holy shit, man.
So I'm down at Lafayette Street, the home medical office, and we're filling out paperwork. And back then it was just the firefighters, I guess, on light duty. And finally, someone says, "Is everybody 21 in this room?" And I go, "No, not me." So he goes, "How old are you?" I said, "I'll be 20. When are you going to be 21?" I said, "May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It's another great day to party." So I go. He says, "Let me see." This is how the job has changed too a lot of it, administrative wise. He says, "Let me go up and see him talk to a captain or a chief." He goes, "Maybe you can go through probie school, and by the time you get out, you'll be 21, and we can slide you in." And I'm sitting there and obviously quite nervous. And he comes down. He goes, "Sorry, buddy." He goes, "They can't fudge the paperwork on that one, So he says, "Well, you'll be in the next class." So turned 21 on May 5th, 1979, and I got sworn in May 19th.
Wow. You know whose class you would have been in, right, Pete?
Whose class? Chief Steve's?
Chief Steve's class you would have been in.
Yeah.
There was a lot of guys in that, right?
Oh,
Who else
yeah.
was in that class? There was a lot of people in that class.
Hank Mollet was in that class.
Frank, you mean?
Frank Mollet was in there too, his brother. Frank.
Who was in your probie class, Larry? Do you remember?
I remember, at the time, 1979, we had, there was one of our first gas shortages. So the instructor said, who lives in the Flushing area? A couple guys put up their hands. So I ended up having a call pull with Billy Van Wart. Eugene Kananowitz, what do they call him? The Mad Dog up there in 59 and 30. Todd Velton, Pat McElhaney. And there might have been one other guy. And, we just, each day, since you had no gas, or you had to get gas on an odd day, even day.
Yeah, odd days and even days, right?
So and we all took turns driving to Proby school.
Thank God you had one Irishman in the car. McPaul.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
Oh, shit.
So how many weeks is Proby school back then?
Back then it was like 6 weeks, you know, in and out, pretty fast. The Scott that we wear was a pretty new thing, so that, you know, I guess we worked on that a lot. The the rope was new. You know, we actually drilled probably a practice on the old vanilla rope on that big
Right.
big thing, you know. So the rope was new, so there was a lot of transition, I guess, going on in the job, which again, I didn't, I realize it now. I didn't realize it then, And the best thing about getting on in May of '79 is that I was the class before Captain Louisi.
You were talking about that I talked to him yesterday about that. So you just hold that on him all the time, that you're the senior guy.
Steve's all about time on the job, and he turned the corner on Webster Avenue and he'd say, Larry Mack's the senior guy on Webster Avenue with the Bronx tonight. He probably looked at the ride list. There was one or two other guys who probably beat me, but I give Steve all the credit in the world for giving me a little kudos. Steve had a great fire career. And
oh yeah, man, 103 guy too.
Yep.
103.
Never heard of it. I know.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Where is that again? Following the smoke.
I didn't say it. I didn't say anything.
I already got him. All right, so after Proby school, you get appointed to Engine Company 238.
Yes, sir.
Greenpoint, Brooklyn, right?
Greenpoint.
Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Greenpoint Avenue and McGinnis Boulevard.
Yeah. And they were in with 106 Attila. Is 106
Attila rig? Yep.
106 with the Attila rig.
So is that a brand new firehouse at that time? Because that's a new firehouse, right?
It was. I'm not sure. It was probably built. It was built in the early '70s. Obviously, I got there in '79, but it was actually, if you go by the quarters, it was two big bays.
Right.
Up
Yeah,
on
I've
the
worked
wall,
there a few times.
Up on the wall outside, it said engine, truck, battalion. I think the planning was that when Bushwick and Williamsburg was burning, it was going to keep on coming down into Greenpoint there, and they wanted to make a stop before it hit Queens, and all of a sudden the fire duty stopped at the BQE, and they disbanded because they was originally 215 was a single engine on, I think, India Street. 238 was a single engine on Norman Avenue. 106 was a single truck on Greenpoint Avenue. So they were going to merge the two engine companies in the truck and just throw a battalion in there, and all of that went out the window.
Right, they disbanded 215, right?
They disbanded 215, yes.
So 206, the firehouse used to be on the other side of the street, right? On Metropolitan. It was on right by the bridge there, right?
Big set of quarters, big quarters, two big quarters for a single engine.
Yep. Yeah, 206. We originally were in the 3-5 battalion, which was 229, 146, 216, 108, and 212. And
so that's where you probably met Chief Steve, when he was in 212.
Yes, I did meet your brother there, and he does come up and he sees me at functions, and he does come up to me and tells me, "Remember when we worked back in Greenpoint and stuff like that?"
That's a lot of years, man. 30, 40 years, almost 40 years.
And then somewhere down the line, I don't know what year it was, but they rearranged the battalions. They kicked us out of the 3-5 for some reason, and we went into the 2-8 battalion. So it was 271 to 124, 231, 206, right? 206 was 2-8 at that time. So
what are they in now? 206. They're in.
They're a single house. They're on right across the street.
No, I know where they are. What battalion are they in? They still in the 2-8? No, they're not in the 2-8 anymore, are they?
Yeah.
Or is it they are?
No, they got to be in the 2-8 there.
I'd say they're probably in the 2-8.
Yeah.
It's not a bad kick for them. You go on a detail of 124.
I did, when you're ready for that, I did work in 124. We got a little story about that later. So.
Oh, well, how long are you there at 38 before you catch your first job?
Well, I remember going out on my first run, and my first run, we run out the door, and, I think it was rubbish in the park, but, your first run, you got your boots on, your coat up, the helmet, you got your mask on, and and everybody else is in like just the boots and the dungaree and a t-shirt, and I don't know what the freak's going on, and jump out. It's coming in as rubbish, but still, I don't know.
It's 1979.
Yeah, right.
It's mayhem in the city.
Not Greenpoint too much, but so there's a little rubbish fire in the park, and I don't know what one of my stretching, and then one of the guys, go get the can. So I get the can, and I go over there, and I'm going to hit it, and I got this little kid, Puerto Rican kid, pulling on my jacket, and he says, "Don't worry, Mr. Fireman." He goes, "I put it out. I peed on it." I was like, I wanted to pee on it, but
Do it.
no, I didn't pee on it. So that was that for my first run. My first job, it probably took I can't remember. It was probably a couple months that I had my real good nozzle, 1075.
Well, it's mostly commercial there, right?
There's a lot of commercial, but Greenpoint Avenue runs down Manhattan.
Yeah, right. I guess so. Yeah.
All stores, all occupied apartments above them,
Right.
row frames.
Yeah, probably just north, right north of the firehouse was commercial, right along the McGinnis and all that, but probably
The other
you
way,
got
all occupied.
all the tenements and shit.
Yep. In fact, I remember going to Greenpoint. I don't know if this is why I ended up there, but my mom grew up in Greenpoint, and I remember going to, Sunday. You go see Grandpa, and you go there, and so I'm this little kid from Queens with the nice shirt on and the pants, and it was a railroad flat, and tells me go out. Grandpa says, go sit on the stoop, and go sit in the stoop. Next minute, I got some kids throwing me in a hydrant.
That's
open hydrant.
for you.
I'm like, I come in, probably like, what's going on? My mom's like, don't worry, they're cooling you off. So
Hasn't changed much, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, was it Larry? Was it mostly Polish then too?
It
Or
wasn't
they got more?
as Polish as it is now. It was
Right.
lower income, hardworking people. And then we'd go down to my uncle's house, and he lived right across from 106's quarters. And my uncle we probably went outside because he's probably having a cigarette, and 106 goes on a run. And he goes, let's go. We start chasing the fire truck, And again, I'm probably, 10 years old, 12, whatever it was. And we run like 5-6 blocks chasing the fire. My father was probably having a heart attack. And, where's Uncle Barney taking my son, And there was a little car fire or some shit down by on the piers down there, So, and then my grandfather died just a couple months before I got on the fire department. And I think I had a little omen about being put in Greenpoint because of
I got
my
you.
mom's
Yeah.
all that stuff. So, it happened, and it was a good part of my career. Met some really nice guys, and I'm still friends with a lot of guys. So that's it there about Greenpoint, really.
Who were your bosses there, Larry? You remember?
When I first got there, it was my captain was Dan McLean. He ended up having a son on the job, I think in 132 for a while. But Dan McLean was, I think he was a Korean War vet, and old salty dog. But at the time he was on his way out. But
Right.
Great guy. I had this guy Harry Dooley, told me a lot. There was two guys that really, I had some Vietnam vets, some guys that were laid off on a strike. So, I'm a young kid. Again, I don't know fireman. I don't know crap, and I got these guys, 2-3 guys in Vietnam. Actually, there was a truck officer, Kenny Deneau. He was a gunner in a bomber in World War II.
Oh, shit.
So, they probably worked somewhere else in their career, and then, they were going out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go out, they're lieutenant captain, and I'm just an order guys because of their war status. And, John Sterling was the captain in the truck. He had his son on the job. Harry Dooley, son ended up being on the job, and Harry Dooley typed me a letter with the hand typewriter. I guess I screwed up on my mutuals.
Oh boy! Enough to get a hand.
Can you imagine typing a letter up to somebody who screwed up a mutual?
But it was like I think the guys are using
screwed up.
Your mutual with so and so was no good. Your mutual with so and so. He was on medical. If you're mutual, and he writes this thing, and he goes, "You may live in Camelot, kid, but this is my career. Stop the bullshit." Lieutenant Harry Dooley. I saved the letter.
I was going to say, you still have it?
When he passed away, I gave it to his son.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Holy shit.
They were like, his wife remembers me from the dinner dance, you know, because I was the guy at the dinner dance coming with a different girl every year for about 7, 8 years, you know, until I got married.
Yeah, because you're the only young guy.
yeah, I was the young crazy guy. So it was really, I told the kid, you know, your dad broke me in, and I had a couple jobs with him, and
that's awesome, man.
Here's a letter yelling at me, hand typed. I wish I should have sent that to you, you know. So
look at that guy.
Who's this? Now, this is your mom and dad, I'm assuming?
That's my mom and dad, yep. I guess I'm off probation because my hair's a little longer. It's outside my house. Oh, there in the back is my motorcycle.
Covered up? Is that what?
Yeah, I covered up my motorcycle. But I guess when I got in a job there, I really didn't have a car. So my father, for some reason, had a red station wagon. And the chiefs used to drive red station wagons, you know?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
So my first week, I stop at the firehouse and I pull in the parking lot with a red station wagon, and the guys scatter. They're like, you know, they thought there was a chief coming in like a raid. I get out of the car, and it's the little phone. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? You just scared the hell out of us.
That's a freaking great story, man. That's right. They had those. I don't know what the hell those station wagons were, but yeah.
Now I pull up in the motorcycle.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Now I pull up on a motorcycle. You know, I think, you know, it wasn't a big bike, 100, 400. I pull up, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's my only means of transportation." The guy goes, "Give me the keys." Give him the keys. He goes, "You're not driving this till you're off probation."
Oh,
Yeah, because you don't want to get hurt.
You don't want to get hurt, because they had a kid there that fell on his motorcycle. He ended up getting on a job, and this is before you're like, you know, now they extend your probation.
Right, they do all sorts of shit. Back then, that was it. You got hurt, you lost the job, man.
But what the important thing I liked is, you know, the guy, they were looking out for me.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
You know, and I went home and took the plates off the bike and didn't drive it for a year. You know, so again, it was just the senior guys looking out for the younger guys, and I really appreciated what they did. You know,
I mean, I remember it was like an unwritten rule, right? I mean, you didn't tap out. You came to work. You had broken bones. You figured something out. You did not tap out on probation. Now I don't think it's that way.
No,
I
I
mean,
think now if you get hurt, you're getting hurt. But back then, it was just like, you got to stick it out. You know?
you could lose your job.
Yeah,
you know.
So, and the other two guys, I remember, I look up to them, and I just met the guy again recently. Frankie Lapp was a Vietnam vet, he was in the Navy, and Jimmy Bannon, who was my union delegate, and told me a lot about, you know, I ended up being a delegate in the company, delegate up in the 2-6 Battalion, the alternate delegate, and involved with the union. So there were two guys that told me a lot about firefighting and life and some good stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's great. You don't have to be in, you know, these rocking places to learn about a lot of stuff about life and the job and all that stuff.
No, solid guys. It was just, you know, again, I didn't know anybody. You go to a company, and this is what I know, you know. And after years, I start learning, you know, I'm taking the details down to 108, and, you know, and then when I worked in 124, and I was like, oh, man, you know, maybe I should be doing something else here. And that's why I ended up studying, which we'll get there later. But that's was my goal. It was, you know, I was very, I didn't know anybody, you know, until I got friends.
Yeah, no.
Like, hey, Larry, you got to come up here. Don't, Larry, you got to come over there. Larry, you got to come over here.
Right.
Where am I going to go, you know?
Senior man in 117, he was there for Frankie Mack. He was there for 25 years. I remember him telling me when I was telling you I put in my paper for a couple of years. I put my paper in for 33 truck, and he didn't say much, you know. But when he spoke, you listened to him. You know, old Irish guy, you know, tall dude, you know, like presence. And I think he was Patty Lee's chauffeur for a lot of years. And he had said something to me. He's like, you know, Lou, I don't have many regrets from the job, but he says, you know what? I might have thought, looking back, that he stayed his whole time there in the truck. Right. So he kind of felt like, you know what? Maybe I never really got to see other parts of the job, other fire, other boroughs, you know, something like that. And that he said that to me from a guy who didn't say much, and I still remember that as, you know, and I was a kid. You know what I mean? He says, because guys were breaking my balls, they found out that I put my paper in.
Sure.
So, but he came over to me and said that to me. He's like, listen, man, you do, again, something I learned. You do what's best for you and your family, and that's it. You know what I mean? You try and make, you know, you can't make everybody happy, and make, you know, guys take it personal when you leave a firehouse sometimes, you know?
Right. And then now all of a sudden you turn around, you got a couple of years there, you're running the softball team.
Right.
You know,
Get stuck.
you're falling in the act, and then I'm like, nah, what do I know? Again, and then I'm like, I can't leave these guys.
That's everybody's your family, right? They're your best friends. You're kind of stuck there. That's what happens,
And I got a guy, Tommy O'Dwyer. He's like 80 years old. He's in a nursing home. We're hoping to see him in a week or two. And then, before I got there, it was 2 or 3 probies, and I came with 2 probies. You guys met Richie Nogan from 113. Richie came there, and he ended up transferring there. And then we had 3 or 4 more guys. And all of a sudden, the house changed. Started playing softball,
right?
Ball and ski races, and then things things change.
So what was your 124 story when you said you went on a detail of 124?
All right, so after 10 years, I go across the floor to the truck, and I'm in the truck, and there's a guy in 124 getting a medal. And so we're going to step up the battalion and work for the guys on medal day. And I'm a pretty new chauffeur. We got the tiller rig. What do I know about towel ladders? But we're working there. The guy goes to the rig, everything's good, and a couple runs, nothing crazy. And then about 4 in the afternoon, the coalition's going on, and we're going to go to the coalition. And just as we get to the coalition, a box comes in. So now we're like, probably the border end of the district. I forget where the party was. Now I got to turn in, and now we're getting, a couple phone calls, the whole thing, So I'm rock and rolling in this freaking towel ladder, Probably hit 1 or 2 things on the way there,
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Could have been, might have happened. I know. I think it happened.
The lieutenant's like, go, So pull up in front of it's attached frames, and how the response was, I end up coming in with another truck. I forget what the truck was, but we're nose to nose. It's blowing out a couple of windows, and I got to get a guy to the roof. Go to put the tormentor down. I look to the left. I'm like, shit, there's a car, So I'm like, so now I got to get back in the rig and move it up 2 or 3 feet. And I'm like, boom, right in between the 2 cars. Perfect. I forget about the right side to the car,
It happens.
You get the guy to the roof.
Got the guy to the roof.
That's it, man. What are you gonna do?
It goes to a second alarm, and every chief that walk, now they're
oh boy,
right in front of the rig. They got to step over that tormentor that's to the car door to get to the front of the rig, and they just look up at me, and they look to see 106. I go like this, what am I gonna do? And everything went good, and now the night talk comes in, and they're like, take up, brother. Don't worry about it. The officer at night says, we got it. Don't worry. It's never heard.
That's good. Yeah. That's good stuff, man.
Hey, LT, Ray Seeley wants to let you know that you haven't changed since 1985, whatever that means.
Well, if I take it, yes, I have. Thanks, Ray.
Haven't we all? And hey, just to let everybody know, Chief Lefamina in the chat, so act accordingly. Get your act together.
The goat's in there. The goat.
All right, Rocco!
So I was gonna say, you did 10 years in the engine, and then you decided to go to the truck.
Well, yeah, I think they were. I think at the time is, I'm a backup chauffeur in the engine, and then you're gonna get the seat. I'm like, no, I don't want the seat.
Not this guy.
So. I might have been butting heads with the captain a little at the time, and all good stuff. And so I went across the floor. So you don't want to.
That's a normal thing.
Yeah,
anyway.
normal transition.
Normal
Sure,
thing.
no problem.
Right.
Plus I was thinking about studying, I guess, or whatever. But so went across the floor to 106 for the next.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. For 10 years, you never studied at all the whole time?
Well, that's another. So in '86, May of '86 is the first test I'm eligible to take, and so I started going to Fire Tech with a couple guys, and but when I was at Fire Tech, it was like,
yeah,
I like that sound.
I'm sitting in the back of the room, I got like
check that door for heat, Tim.
I'm like, I know this shit, and I'm not really paying attention, and I wasn't really a serious student. Probably just dating my future wife at the time, which she worked. I wasn't worried about money. I was having a blast of my life where I was. Word of the day, I'm ready.
Oh, You're over
What,
here
Big
cracking bottles like you're a Big Mac or something.
Oh!
Hey, Larry, Jerry Murtha's in the chat. He said Mac is the best.
Thank you, Jerry.
I think he said Big Mac is the best.
I can't feel my face.
Actually,
Oh.
Jerry's one of the shows I watched to get a little custom to you guys. So yeah, Jerry's great. Thank you.
Oh, that was my favorite. Was with his mom when he was
with the
putting the water in the
Jamesons.
scotch. Oh my
I
god!
didn't put it in. I didn't put it in.
When he yelled, I was crying. I was crying.
Hey,
Still one of the
Koopies,
funniest things.
Would your mom put water in scotch?
My mom didn't even know that. She was telling me that she was looking for gin, a Tito's gin in the liquor store. And,
I know that you like Tito's.
She's gonna yell at me right tomorrow. She's gonna yell at me. And she was looking for the Tito's gin in the liquor store. The lady's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, what were you saying? She's 84, right? And what is she doing? She's doing like the hot yoga. What is she doing?
She does kickboxing, Zumba. She's all right, that little lady, man.
Gonna outlive us.
Happiest woman I've ever heard.
I think we're gonna
God.
have her on the. We're gonna do a second wife show. So we're gonna have her and sitting with my wife. So you want to get somebody who's had kids and a husband on the job at the same time.
Unbelievable.
Right. I'll get back to starting in a second, but Kevin, I ran into John Hands this morning.
Who?
John Hands. He's in. Your dad was in. Your dad was in 103. 103.
No, my dad wasn't in 103.
No.
Oh, I know John Hands. I know John.
Wrong story. He was telling me a senior guy. I thought it was you. So, well, skip that story. But it was just he was telling a great senior man story. John says he pulled into the parking lot, 81, 82, and the car's squeaking, and the brakes. And the senior man goes, "Guy's got like 30 years down in 103 at the time, 103. I know it's 108, 103. I don't know what you guys do.
103.
There's a lot of numbers.
So the senior guy goes, John, your brakes are squeaking. He goes, yeah, I'm going to wait the payday. We all remember you had to wait the payday to do something,
Yeah.
And the senior man, he said in 103 at the time, says, John, he goes, we don't got nothing scheduled today. Put the car in the parking lot. They go out in the rig. The senior man pays for the brakes.
Wow.
Come in, put the car up, put the brakes on. He says, payday, then you worry about it. He goes, you're not driving around with no brakes. And that's another great thing about our job with the
That's
senior
the
guy.
brothers, man.
Brothers doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah, that story. I was the same with. I met him a few times at the reunions.
Okay.
And
John,
yeah. So, but I was saying that with Pete Partridge, right? He was talking about his car broke down on the Cross Bronx.
Oh,
and
right.
The guys picked
From
up his wife. His
Rescue
wife.
3. Yeah.
Right. They picked her up, brought the car there. I don't know what, they had the tow truck bring the car there.
And they were working on it already.
They were working on the car. The car was fixed. Like that's
Yeah, the guys from Rescue
that's what we
3.
did, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you did. It didn't matter. That's the best stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. So you said
in
Go ahead,
86, about the starting. So I'm going to Fire Tech, and it's going through the motions, and they give the test in May of 86. And 3 days before the test, there was a leak of possible answers that was leaked out. So I'm in 106. The guy I got it from was in 103, the guy I mentioned before, and he got it from a guy in 33 truck.
this can't be good.
So
It's like a stock tip.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's get. Everybody's getting in on the Ponzi.
Hey, Louis,
scheme. You know that Ponzi scheme?
it's like Dogecoin.
Hey,
It's going nowhere but south.
Well, you mean? Hold on, no, it's going to the moon,
Oh,
baby.
look at him,
To
bro.
the
Pete's got his
moon.
3,000 shares. I know he's got
You
the-
guys
Sold his
will
house.
laugh.
Pete sold his house and bought old Dogecoin.
Might be good.
It
Might not be good.
If,
Okay,
the
let's
firemen
go
know-
live.
if 3 firemen know about it, it's going in the toilet.
Yeah. By the time he gets to you, if 3 of the firemen know about it, 8 million people already know about it.
That's my buddy worked for Wall Street. He goes, you don't hear any tips in the firehouse? I said, by the time we get it,
It's gone. I mean,
gone.
it's been the whole time. I don't think there was ever one thing that ever worked out. Not one time.
No, you know what worked out? Big Mac worked out.
I know what I know what you're doing, and I don't like it. I don't
like it one bit.
He's tying one on. Look at him. Look at his face.
I know.
I don't
And
know.
then like a half hour, he's going to be like this.
Half hour, exactly.
Nah, he's got it. He's got it. All right, Larry. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, kid.
no, it's good. So 86, my buddy calls and says, study 6 towel out of 6.2.3. Get the exact paragraph. That is the collapse zone. For some reason I remember it's the collapse zone. How far you got to be away from the building? 30. But. I'm like, yeah, I know what I. So again, I wasn't a student, but meanwhile, I gave it to like everybody in my firehouse. I said, yeah, there was guys who were students. Like, yeah, study this. I heard it's good. It's good shit. It's coming from 103. Coming from 33 truck. It's like,
It's a lock. It's a lock.
It's a lock.
So they did the test on May 10th, 1986, because it was my sister-in-law's wedding day, and I come out of the test, and the 15 possible things are exact. If you had those 15 things, that gives you a passing mark. So I go to the wedding. That's in May. Now there's rumors the test was compromised. I'm like, whatever, I don't know. And I'm up banging nails at a fireman's house in Vermont. No cell phones, all that stuff. I was checking in with my girlfriend at the time, and she says, Larry, you better call your mother. I go, what for? She goes, there was 2 detectives at your mother's house today. IG. The IG comes from, because that was my legal address. I'm living with like 10 firemen on Bell Boulevard. So I call my mom. She goes, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's in a panic. You're giving her a heart attack.
I go, Mom, all right. She don't know if I'm dead or alive, and it's
Right. Because you don't
I call my firehouse. I get the captain with the Irish brogue, John Lyde. Oh, Jesus Christ, lad. He goes, what'd you do? He goes, they've been calling me every day. I told him you're on vacation. I don't know where you are. I'm like, shit, what the hell did I, trying to put it together. And I failed the test with the answers. It's like, I had the answers. I failed the test.
That's the only way you got off, right?
That's an omen right there.
You're like, this guy could not have been cheating. He only got 3 answers right.
So,
Right. This guy certainly didn't have all the answers because he failed. Sorry.
Guy from 103 gave everybody up. That's what happened.
So now I come home from Vermont, and I'm going out to bartend in the Hamptons. So come home on a Friday. I'm in contact with the union. Bill McLaughlin was the Brooklyn trustee at the time. He says, you got to meet the head IG tomorrow. This is serious stuff. And I'm like, my hair's down his shoulder. I got an earring. I'm going to bartend in the Hamptons. So I meet the head IG and my trustee at a diner. I was like, I'm not in the mob here. What the hell am I doing? So we're having breakfast nice, and the guy's like, we know you know something. I go, listen, I heard a rumor from a friend of mine who's the biggest knucklehead on his job, and heard it from some other guy. If you're studying, they tell you to read, page 43 in Playboy for an answer, you're going to read it. It's just that's how crazy guys get, I said, plus I think I failed the test. So he's like, no, this is serious. So again, no cell phones at the time. I tell him, I'm not giving you anybody's name. So he goes, can I talk to your friend? So we'll go to the pay phone. I call the house phone where I'm living. My friend gets on the phone. This crazy kid from 103. I can mention his name, but John Tomola is my friend. He passed away a couple of years ago, but he did it. He worked in 3 companies. He had a tough life. But so I call my friend John, and he calls the head IG a rat bastard on the phone. Like
You rat bastard.
And all I'm worried about is I got to be at happy hour like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to set the bar up, And the guy comes back at the table. His veins are popping out. And he goes, I'm going after you and your friends. You think this is a joke? I'm like, I look at the trustee. He's like, Larry, what? I go, I don't know what the guy said on the phone. Meeting's over. I go to the Hamptons. I bartend for the weekend. Tuesday morning, I show up for work. The IG's at quarters. They take me downtown. I got to get Michael Block, the lawyer.
No shit.
It turns into a thing. Nothing happens to me. Nothing happens to my 2 friends. It sort of just dissolves. They some guys had to pay if they let out an answer to whatever they did, but it didn't come back.
Did they throw out the test? I don't even remember.
They threw out the test, which screwed up a lot of guys. I mean, there were guys that passed the test, should have been lieutenants. They gave the second test in December 23rd, I think it was, and they only gave you like a month's notice. And guys had burnt their books and
Yeah.
everything. And there was guys that passed the first test that didn't pass the second test.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing I had a problem with was how they got my name. Was it a guy in my files, my battalion, my division, right. Larry Max? Like I said, I'm bartending in the Hamptons. I'm bartending in Hunter Mountain. I'm living the dream here, New York City fireman. And someone drops a dime on me for having the answers, and I never found that out. I would have had to take charges, and then they would have had to present their witness. They said, "Don't take charges. You could lose your job over this." I'm like,
So you still, that would have been the only way you could find out of who did
Right.
it, right?
Yeah, the
Now-
only other problem was the Molotov cocktails coming through your window.
the next 6 months, my house didn't trust me. They thought I was wearing a wire. I had to run around in the kitchen in my underwear. They're like, check him. He's got
keep,
the
keep an eye on Mac.
Mac might be wired. I don't know. Don't say anything when he's around.
X-ray
they give-
on the talking A.
Yeah.
They give the second test in December. Changes. I don't pass that one either. And
Hey, you're consistent.
yes.
It's because you're always drinking in the back seat there. Come on.
So that was it with that. That was what that was 1986. And the job was. Like I said, I feel bad for the guys that.
Yeah, put the effort in, and
And then the second time, they made the test like 10 points harder. So you really had to be on top of your game or work through the summer. You didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So, and that was that. So that was.
Wow, I wonder if Chief Steve took that original test. He might have you on his list. Well, he still says hello to you, so maybe not.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Maybe after tonight
he
he
doesn't
won't.
say hi to too many people. I don't think.
Wow. Yeah, you should consider yourself lucky. He says hi to you.
Yeah.
So how did you? When did you decide about the Marshall thing?
Well, I
How did
guess
that
right.
come up?
You're skipping ahead on me on the line. We're crying out
Really?
loud. Hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
Hey, Big Mac. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Hey,
Hey.
Big Mac.
Oh, hey. I was just reading. Why are people talking about the Navy Yard fire in the chat right now? Like it matters. I'm
What
just
Navy
curious.
Yard fire?
In 1964, on board the Constellation. We did a whole show about it.
That's another show. That's all right.
I'm
So
just
anyway,
saying, that's the kind of nonsense that distracts
so
me. Sorry.
90. We can bring it back. So 93, you get promoted to Fire Marshal. You passed that test for crying out loud.
Yeah, and they gave me a gun. They gave me a gun.
And they gave you a gun
Hey,
with the long hair in the ear. Yes, because you had a mullet in the one
I
picture.
got the photo here. I got it. Stand by. I'm coming up.
My
Kev, I was talking about being a fire marshal. What are you talking
I
about?
know, breaking your balls.
This is the best fucking picture ever. Hold one.
This
Look
is
at
great.
this photo. Oh my God.
Who is that?
Oh, you
I
got
got
the
the ball- I
badge
got the
hanging out
cervical
too.
beard.
What are you looking at? Like a gasoline padding on the floor
Yeah.
there? What are you doing over
He
there?
was
man?
like this.
Living thing, Brian.
Brian, it's a living thing.
Eats. Got the corduroy
Eats.
jacket on. Holy shit!
Hates.
Eats. It hates.
It hates.
It hates.
What was it? What was the chemical that they found on Kurt Russell's boat? Well,
Triptochloride or
Triptochloride or something.
Triptochloride. Yeah.
He's checking for the triptochloride right there.
Larry, is that a real thing or that was made up?
I don't know. You're way out of my league. I was there for 9 months.
Break that door for Heath, Tim?
Did you ever get anybody on Arson?
Actually,
Yeah, there's a newspaper article.
no, awesome. No,
No, that's not.
That was something else.
Oh.
I did have there was one case we went to, so I was assigned to, so I took the test. There was this guy, Jimmy, that broke me in, became a marshal. He said, Larry, just take it. It's just another outlet in a job you want to try. So I did. I get called. I'm already on a lieutenant's list. I'm 170 on a lieutenant's list. I knew I
that's
had
good.
about a year to go, but they said, go for the life experience, take it. So I take the marshal thing. The 9mm weren't out yet, so my father-in-law was retired cop. You had to have a 4-inch 38. So now I got the 4-inch
Sorry.
38, and then I buy the James Bond gun for my ankle. I got this 380 thing on my ankle. But I was assigned to Queens Base, which had all of Queens and half of Brooklyn at the time. It was a big response area. They only had 2 or 3 cars. We had social club task force going on. But the one case that I was pretty proud of was that we go to this job in Queens, and it was a fatal fire for a young baby, and there was 2 kids at the hospital. They weren't hurt. So what had happened is that the grandmother was watching the kids, and she took the baby up to the 2nd floor in a private dwelling to change the baby's diapers. And while she's up there, she smells smoke. So she takes the baby off the changing table, puts him in the center of the bed, and runs downstairs. So the two siblings, two brothers, they're like 9 years old.
Playing with fire or something.
They were playing with matches underneath on the bed, the lighter, the big lighter. You know, it used to give sparks. Now she grabs the two kids, gets them out, and as she goes to get back in, she can't get.
Wow, what a shame.
I forget the company. Village Air, I don't get Springfield Boulevard, something. So
162 probably, or 158 or something.
the OV goes in the window and finds the baby, and unfortunately, the baby dies. You know, so we have to, you know, there's no gas, there's no electrical problem. You know, we eliminate sick. We have to go interview the two kids at the hospital. And at the time, you know, my kids were young. My son's 31 now. My daughter's 29. And the Ninja Turtles was the big movie. And, you know, they were the, you know, the heroes, the police guys. So we go to the hospital, and there's the two kids. They're fine in a wheelchair. They got balloons. The nurses got the balloons. And so I got to play, you know, the good cop, you know, bad cop, good cop. And I'm like, so they're playing with my badge, the handcuffs. And so I bring up the Ninja Turtles. I go, well, I'm like the Ninja Turtle. I'm like Donatello or whatever the turtle's names are. So now the kids lighten up, and, you know, they're talking. And all of a sudden, the one kid goes, yeah, we were playing with the light underneath the bed, and there's little strings going on fire. The cousin elbows the kid and goes, don't tell him that. That was it. That was it. So the bottom line was the case. It was a terrible accidental fire, but we didn't just leave the case unclosed, because that's what happened, you know. And then I don't know, after that, there's that program. I don't even know how it exists, the fire setter thing, whatever. But you know, it was
that was the grandmother. That poor woman, right?
Yeah,
right.
So the bottom line is that the Ninja Turtles cracked the case, is what you said.
That's right. That's the.
Can I ask?
Ninja Turtles always get their man.
I'm just curious. I guess being a fire marshal is a little dangerous. That's why they have you strapped.
Well, you have to make arrest. So
I did not realize that.
Yeah. So if you do find the perpetrator or the arsonist, you know, you'd have to make an arrest. So that's why you did carry.
Are you trained to cuff these guys and to do all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they take you up at the time. I forget how many weeks there. You know, you had to go over the laws. You know, when you know, arson 1, 2, 3, and probable cause and all that stuff. And here's the cops would arrest you. Were the fire marshal in charge of origin and cause and origin. You determine where the fire started. If someone died in it, you could help them along, but then the cops would make that murder. But you were in charge of where the fire started and how it started. And at 1 week, you went up to Camp Smith up by West Point, and you did a week of firearm training and self-defense and handcuffing and all that stuff like that. You know,
that's pretty cool. You still packing?
No, the FDNY has a crazy rule that you don't. You know, once you become lieutenant, you have to give up. I could have kept the home permit or target permit, but I think I had little kids at the time.
Yeah.
Queens. I'm like, I don't need a gun in the house, you know. So I sold. My father-in-law took his 38 back, and I sold the gun to another marshal.
Bet you want that gun now.
Yes.
What class? Hey, Ruffy, what class did they teach the 19 to go to the 17 with the slide?
That's the slide on the back end on the Glock with the red dot. And
curious why you guys.
We're breaking Pete's balls, Larry.
You know what it is, Larry? These guys are jealous. You know what I mean? And you know,
is that what it is?
I'm going to send my guys over there.
Hey, Moose, Rocco, help the judge find his checkbook.
Yeah.
Oh,
here we go. Ooh, MC's coming in with the super chat. Hold on, everybody. Here we go. For Lieutenant Mack, as a fire marshal, how closely did you work with the NYPD's arson and explosion squad?
Good question.
That is a good question.
Good question, kid.
Personally, I never did, but that's more for like a bigger case. If they found, you know, around July 4th, fireworks, or they found a lot of guns, stuff like that, then you would work with the NYPD. All I did is, if we got a complaint, precinct fill out, I think it was called a 61. Man, it was an official complaint. And so personally, there are guys, marshals, that are very into doing stuff with guns and explosives and stuff like that. And we worked with the arson explosives. But as the regular beat fire marshal, you pretty much, you know, you went out with a partner and you tried to figure out, you know, what was going on. I did have another. There are plenty of fire marshal stories. So we had the canvas every time there was something at a project. So we go down to Long Island City, the projects down there, and they weren't the healthiest projects either.
No.
Ravenswood, is that it on 21st Street?
Queensbridge, probably.
Yeah.
Queensbridge is a toilet.
Queensbridge is definitely a toilet, but Ravenswood wasn't so bad.
But my partner at the time, his name was Kevin McCullough. And we got to go knock on some doors and see if anybody smelt anything, heard anything, you know. So it's like 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and we knock on this door. You know, most time we just got, oh, look, you didn't hear nothing? You didn't see nothing? Oh, you smelled? You called 911? Oh, thank you very much. And got their name, and that's nobody ever saw anything. We knock on this door. It's like a crack den. You know, I got that corduroy jacket on. The other guys got fucking corduroy.
You look like
this knocks at your door on 7 a.m. right here.
You got the thin beard.
And I'm saying,
Got the mullet working.
Fireman, we're not police, firemen, you know. And they're like, oh, yeah, come on in. We step into the apartment. I'm like, shit, this ain't good, you know. And there's a trans something sitting on the couch. There's some stuff going on. And you guys see anything last night? No. You smell any smoke? No. We're like, okay, I just need a name for my report. And the person sitting on the house goes, McCullough. And my partner's looking at the goes, are we relatives? Is that one L or two L's? We're like, thank you. Shut the door. Like, that's the report closed.
McCullough.
His jaw must have hit the ground.
Listen, did you work with anybody that wasn't Irish, bro?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know,
Well,
no Gambinos, none of that going on over there.
You work with no guineas or what?
One more quick question, actually. I just wanted to ask you real fast thing about being a fire marshal. I'm just fascinated with it. How long before you can be a fire marshal on the FDNY? Like, how long of a period? Obviously, past your probation, right?
As soon as you get off probation, I think, right?
I'm not sure. You know what? I don't know what the rules are now. What they would end.
Yeah, they changed.
Might be first grade. Might be probation.
Oh, it might be first grade. You're right. It might be first grade.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it was a great experience. Again, I worked with some great guys. Some guys are really into. Some guys were into the guns, but some guys were really into serious, making a difference. Especially, again, I had this terrible thing with the kid, but if there was a fireman hurt, or God forbid killed, the fire marshals come out.
Yeah, man.
Full ding, and
Guns are blazing.
They're gonna work.
Find out what's going on, right?
What the hell happened?
Yeah. Did you shut down a lot of clubs and parties and things like that? Because I remember as a DJ, I was in the Lower East Side, and when the place got a little too packed, it was fire marshals are shutting it down. Oh fuck, you know, like everyone was bummed out every Saturday night or something, you know.
Yeah,
probably two Irish guys.
Yeah,
one guy named Big Mac.
No, at the time there was this social club task force. So I think it was a guy from the buildings department, a newly promoted lieutenant, got stuck at that
Lucky him.
and maybe 4 or 5 fire marshals. And you'd have to. There was a list of all the social clubs in New York City, and you'd have to wait till like midnight to go out. You know.
Oh yeah.
Then you go and. You know, listen, again, you'd have to go, we're firemen, we're not here cops, we're not busting. You know, I walked into a place and you saw the drug package dropping on the floor. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just checking the exits, fire extinguishers, and that everybody's safe. You know, we're not getting involved with drug busts. You know,
Yeah.
A year ago,
See some guy with his face on a mirror, right? It's like,
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Keep the crack pipe. I'm not hitting up.
Fucking
6 months ago, I got an axe and a hook, and now I got a gun, and the guy's dropping shit in front of me. I'm like, no. I'm here about fire
So
safety.
it's kind of like almost having like all the benefits of being a cop without having to be a cop. Wow, dude. Like, honestly, like that, if I would have heard about that.
Some guys, I know a few guys that came back, right, Larry? Some guys take the marshal and they come back to firemen or whatever.
Yes, some guys. I think it works really good towards the end of your career because now you can get a level 1 investigator. You get to keep the gun, you know, and then you can work for an insurance company.
Right. You could do something when you get out.
Great.
Right.
That's
But
great.
in the middle of your career, it wasn't going to be my career. You know, I'm very happy. Again, met some good guys, did a couple of little things with it. But I knew I was 170 on the lieutenant.
Yeah, it's a perfect scenario, right? You learn a little something, and then you move on.
I think the schedule blows too, right? The schedule's not that great, man.
Yeah, it was
No?
a day tour or a night tour or a half a night. It was really,
It blows. Yeah.
it was really whack.
What's the? I'm sorry. What's wrong with day tour? Like that's like a 9 to 5.
I'm just saying, compared to the chart the firemen are on, where you could work 24s, you can make mutuals.
You could get off whenever you want. You could do that. I don't know if that's the case.
Their schedule, their chart kind of sucked, right? From what I remember.
And you really didn't, it was hard. You didn't really cook a meal, like in a firehouse.
Right.
So you'd have, if we were lucky enough to have 3 cars on for a night, that's like 6 guys, we'd say, because you came into work, they gave you a job, like an all hands from the day. You had to go check it out. And then we'd say, all right, 8:30, let's say you're going for the night tour, whatever the hours, when you say, all right, let's meet at Blue Bay Diner, or you pick a restaurant. And if you didn't get a call, you go to 6 guys. But then you're sitting there eating dinner with that corduroy jacket, and everybody looks at you, they think you're a cop,
Yeah.
Well,
let's be
I mean,
scores.
especially with that mullet and this corduroy jacket.
Larry, did you ever say this? Just the facts, ma'am.
Oh, where is it? There it is. Wait, I have it.
Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts, ma'am.
Oh, shit, that's my favorite thing.
Or did you shake anyone down, and were you like,
Where's the beef?
I'll tell you though, the gun thing is, I'm a couple times. I was living in College Point at the time, and I'm going to Fort Ton. It's a 5-minute ride. If someone gets road rage for whatever reason, and they're like giving you the finger, and they're like, "This guy doesn't know I got 2 guns on me, and I'm a freaking police officer." It's so weird, just look at the guy like, "It's all right. Oh, I'm sorry if I cut you off accidentally. I wasn't fucking racing to work."
Well, until you have a road rage incident where you wish you had a gun. I had a really scary one. I had some maniac chasing me down for the whole Van Wyck and then part of the Grand Central up to the LIE. And it was freaking scary. I wish I had a gun for that one. I didn't know what to do. He almost ran me off the road.
I told you that recently, right in my neighborhood in Long Beach, guy pulled a knife on me when I got out. He was baiting me to get out. I got out of the car, and then he gets out with a knife. And I have a concealed carry, as Pete knows. You don't.
I definitely don't. I will, though, after the Supreme Court case comes through.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's very easy. Guy pulls a knife, you can pull a gun and shoot him.
Coops, did you say, just like a fucking guinea taking a switchblade
just
to a
like
fucking gunfight?
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite movies.
That's a great movie, man. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They sent one of yours to the hospital. You send one to the fucking morgue.
Wow.
Untouchables, right? Untouchables.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back when I'm in 106 for a second, so I used to take a lot of the old timers. I used to take their detail down to 216 or 108. So
Scary.
So go to 108 and George Simon. Anybody know George Simon? He was a lieutenant there back in the day. So George was George had a big reputation, knew a lot of guys, and a couple of jobs come in Harlem, and so he calls send us up there. So we go up to Harlem. I don't know if we go to 26 truck or something like that. Relocate. They're back in quarters. They go put us somewhere else. We go to another truck, and a job comes in. So of course the company in Harlem says, "No, we got it." And, they go. So George says, "I'm working with Warren Ward and Joe Pepitone's brother. Joe Pepitone, the Yankee.
Yeah, right.
It's really good
third
guys.
time somebody brought that up on the show.
Right.
Joe Pepitone.
Yeah.
So we go to his job. We don't have it. We're not first or second. We're just freelance. And so,
extra.
we go to top floor, whatever we do, and everything's it's good. I get a little experience there and everything, and we take up now. The dispatcher, nobody knows where we are because we were supposed to be here. We're
trolling. We're just trolling.
So George Simon and a chief, I don't know the chief, owned a bar on 44th Street.
Oh boy,
right by the theater district. And it's about 10 o'clock. It's early in the evening, and we're driving now. Instead of going the easiest way back to Williamsburg, we're going to go to Manhattan. And we're all dirty from the job and everything. And the banner that was hanging off, the bar's name was Chili's, was hanging down. The pipe had broke. So theater just got out. George goes, "I want the sign down." So we pull 108 into the block. It's theater's getting out. People are just up. It's restaurants, and we put up the aerial. The guy goes up there and cuts down the flag, and we take the pole down so nobody's gonna get hurt.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And then allegedly George said, I think we better check inside too, because we just came
Just
from
in
a
case
fire.
everything, it could be another, hazardous situation.
Right. We just came from a fire and you might be thirsty. So now we stop there and we get back to 108. We have a couple of runs. I'm like, wow, this is fucking great. I was in Williamsburg. I'm in Harlem. I was in
Ray,
Midtown.
Fat Daddy Ray? Was Fat Daddy Ray working? No.
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 It was some
That's
good guys.
fun.
I mean, I worked with John Rail, who's in 238. You guys know John Rail. John was I worked with John for about a year before he transferred up there, and some other really good guys, So
Wow.
Hey, there's a question coming in from the super chat here from FXDFNY. He says, ask Larry if he remembers taking the Troy, New York guys to Glackens a few years ago. Tell him Matt and Frank Ryan from Troy FD say Salante or Salente.
Salante. Yeah, I got a couple good friends out of state. Started with this guy, Bob Murphy. We call him Saratoga Murph. Saratoga's got a nice small apartment up there, maybe 2 firehouses, about 60 guys. My friend Bob Murphy was president of their union, and he meets Tommy Lynch, who worked in 19 Truck. Tommy Lynch was the Bronx trustee at the time, and they hit it off. And Bob Murphy's just a real great friend of the FDNY. And if you go up to the track, I mean, he almost had me like on a pony, like the 5th race on the first time.
Down the stretch they come. Larry, whip them.
Did you have that hat on?
So through Bob Murphy, Saratoga Murphy, I meet a bunch of guys from Albany and Troy, and they come down probably for 9/11 ceremony at some point, and we're down city. So I tell Murph, now they're going to head back north. They're going to drop me off in the Bronx. I go, you want to stop in a nice bar in Manhattan, or you want to go to a ghetto bar in the Bronx? They go, no, we want to go to a ghetto bar. So you guys ever hear of Glackens? I think it's 149 in the Grand Concourse, right next to Bronx Lebanon Hospital. So it's an old Irish bar. It's been there. We were there a couple of years ago. It was their 75th anniversary. You got to walk down like 3 steps. The bar's maybe 10 feet long at best. It's everybody in the neighborhood's there. Sanitation's around the block. The hospital workers are there. FD is there. The locals are there. Everybody just gets along. It's just so I bring these guys from Troy, Frank, and a couple guys into Glackens, and it was a nice experience for them, bringing them into the hood.
That's cool.
Getting back to Glackens, I get relocated with 50 inch into 60 inch, and they're right down the block. They're the original Green Beret house. And one comes in, man passed out in Glackens. So the guy goes, you know where that is? I go, yeah, we know where it is.
Never heard of
the place.
Never heard of it.
As a matter of fact, I might have been a man passed out in Glackens a few times.
So it's the summertime. We respond up to Glackens. I know the layout of the building. We walk into Glackens, and there's like a little back room or alleyway where they store all the empties and everything. They go, he's back there. I go back there. There's an elderly gentleman, and the guy's having a heart attack.
Oh, shit.
He already pissed his pants. The guy's sweaty. We're like, boom, we throw him. Bronx, Lebanon, you could like put him out the door, and he's in the ER. So we throw the oxygen on him. We drag him out to give us some room, and EMS shows up, and the guy's living in. They sent him up to Bronx, Lebanon. So my boys look at me and go, "Hey, Lou."
While we're here,
allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
Okay, yeah, let's go inside, have a soda. So we go inside and having a soda, and it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, and the sanitation guys ain't there. The Bronx Living guy, we're to find where they're now, and there's some females there, and they're looking at my fireman, and she goes,
yummy.
Yep. She goes, look at those pork chop legs. I go, and I'm the only one with a shirt on. I go, leave my firemen alone. She goes, no, I like those legs. And there's my big Jim sitting there smiling ear to ear. I go, boys, we're up.
We're out. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. We're out of here.
Chief Kleehouse says, Glackens, if you drop a bottle on the floor, it rolls to the wall.
Yeah. I never worked at Chief Kleehouse. I have a nice story about him. I think it's a nice story. I know his reputation. I go to a friend of mine, he happened to live around the block. He was in, who was in with 136, 287?
That's 287.
So my friend gets burnt. He's a lieutenant, maybe about 10 years ago, let's say. Pretty bad in his hands, and I'm on.
I was at that job.
Huh?
I was at that job. He was in 287 engine.
Yep.
I was at that job.
So he's a personal friend, lives around the block from me. I'm like assigned, not assigned, but the family assistant unit has my number. I was teaching at the Rock, and I get the call, go meet the wife at the hospital. So go to hospital for the next month. I drive the guy. Everything, he works out. He's got to retire, but I go to his. Well, we'll go back 1 second. So while his both hands are burned pretty bad, and the brothers from 287, 136 say, hey, there's this new thing out of toilet seats called a bidet. You can hook it up to your toilet seat, and you don't have to use your hands. Because while I'm at the hospital, he says after like 3 days of medication, he goes, I got to go to the bathroom. His wife goes, I ain't wiping your ass. And I said, well, I'm only here. I'm the driver.
I ain't wiping your ass.
If your wife doesn't want to get up there, I mean, what's going on?
If your wife panics on the fire floor, you'll panic on the fire floor.
The guys from 287, are there, and they go, hey, we heard about this seat. Can we install it? So we check with the wife. She says, yeah, install the seat. So the brothers come up. You got to run an outlet. It runs hot water. See, I have one now. It's the best thing ever.
So do I, bro. Nice.
You don't have to worry about that toilet paper shortage last year.
Come on, it's clean as a whistle.
I go,
wow.
So I get a call. Hey, we're done with the bathroom. So I walk around the back, come around with a couple beers. I go, anybody try out the bowl? They go, no. I'm like, come on, you got to make sure it works. I go in there, drop my pants. I'm hitting buttons. I'm getting wet, low right. I'm like,
water
it works
everywhere.
Well, getting back to I call it Chief Kleehouse. So I go to the Mike, the lieutenant's retirement party on Bell Boulevard, and we're all hanging out at it's One Station Plaza, whatever it is, and the party's breaking up. And Jack Kleehouse says, if anybody wants to have a drink with me, I'll be over at Maggie Mae's. And you just see all the guys just like, like, oh shit, the chief wants to have a drink with me. We're gonna go. So I live an hour upstate. Oh well, my mother's in Queens. Maybe I was staying there, and so I said I leave the party because it's not my company. I say hello to the guys, do the right thing, and leave. And I see the chief sitting at the bar by himself. So I said, let me just go say hello to the chief. I see the tattoos and everything. I said, hey chief, and he just gives me this freaking look. Who are you? And I'm like, my name's Larry Mack. I was at the party. Yeah, I said I was Mike so-and-so's Mike Schmidt's buddy, and I drove. Oh, very nice of you. He goes, where do you work? I go, 50 engine 19 truck. He goes, oh, I one of my best firemen went up the 19 truck. I said, who's that, chief? He goes, Steve Gladden. I said, yeah, I know Steve. Steve's like one of the toughest, best firemen I know. He goes, and he gives me this look. Again, I don't know him. He's a tough man. He gives me a look. He goes, no, you don't know. I go, all right, chief. I said, he came up there from Queens, 126. I know it's a great house. He goes, I was his captain. I said, oh, all right. Now the guy, it's like, I could see it, the guy wants to make a point, and I don't know him. And he goes, I'm going to tell you right now. And this guy, Steve's really the most quietest guy, strong man, great fireman. He says, there are two people alive today on this earth because of Steve Gladden. And he goes, in both times, I couldn't ride him up to whatever was going on in the position. But he goes, Steve Gladden is the real deal. And I said, Chief, I know. I said, he was up there a week. I caught a job with him. And I'm waiting for the line and truck. And I said, he went right past the fire and completed the search. I go, no. And Steve and I are very good friends. But that's how I met Jack Kleehouse. I want to really give my friend Steve Gladden the things. But if you're getting a compliment from that man.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, you guys know him. And then I know Steve Gladden is the real deal. So. That's my Jack Kleehouse story. So.
And then you ran out of there.
Yes, I finished my beer and left.
I'm getting the hell out of here.
In true Irish fashion, never leave the beer behind.
Good one, Petey.
Give me the Irish exit.
There you go.
Holy shit. So where the heck are we?
Where are we? Yeah, where are we?
Did we get to 50 yet?
No, I think we're about to get to 50 engine.
We're talking about my poor friend wiping his butt there. I'll fast forward and we'll go back to my best place ever, Washington Avenue. So the Black Sunday fire. We all know what happened up there in the Bronx. And
this is now you're promoted and you go to 50 engine, right? You got assigned to 50 in 1995, correct?
Yep.
Right.
That whole crew's retired except the guy with the mustache. He's now back as the battalion commander.
Right.
Is that right?
Who's the little guy with the white? Oh, that's you.
I thought you meant the chief kneeling down.
No.
Look at you.
Shit.
Yeah,
Look at
Baby,
you, baby face. Look at that
Looking
guy.
like a kid.
Happy as hell.
What
bro.
year was this, you think?
95, 96.
This is
Yeah,
96?
it's probably early, 95, 96, 97. That's a vacant building. Back in it, when I get there, they go, "You're the junior officer. You're in charge of BI." I'm like, "All right, great." And then they needed a vacant building report. I'm like, "Okay." So I'm looking around the office, and all the clipboards are there. And then there's a thing. It says vacant buildings. I look at the thing. It's like 150 buildings address on this thing. I'm like, holy crap. And so none of us like doing BI. So I said, well, I can say I'm looking at the vacant buildings for the next 2 weeks of BI. And there's 150. There's probably about 120 vacant buildings still left in 94, 95 when I first got up there. And that was in a vacant building we were drilling. But when I left, I think we had maybe 4, maybe 3.
I was going to say that it's all built up now, right?
Everything's built. The whole city, I don't know other areas but the Bronx.
I mean, if it's built up there, it was built up. I mean, they were building in East New York. I mean, they were building everywhere. It didn't matter.
I stopped at the firehouse yesterday or 2 days ago, and there's still buildings going up. And I'm like, hey, where are they putting all these people? And the runs, people just moving in. The runs are going up, and they're more sprinkled. At the end, I was going to jobs. They were matches that was being put out by the sprinkler, but it was the occupation. The runs were up for all engine companies. The whole city.
No doubt about it.
Right.
No doubt.
In trucks.
How'd you get over to 50 though? When you got promoted, you got promoted in what? In 95?
Yeah, 90. So 93 Marshal, 94 I get promoted to lieutenant. The same day I get promoted, I decide the Queens boy is not going east, stuck in traffic. I'm going to go north because I had a couple of friends up here, especially my best friend, Vinny Holland, who got killed in 9/11. So we started coming up here, and my wife wanted to take Metro North. Just no bus, Rockland County, Orange County, you got to take a bus and a train, Long Island, it's the Long Island Railroad, just to traffic. So Metro North, you sit like a nice person, gentleman, or lady, and you can read your book. It's an hour and 15 minutes. So we moved up here. So when this is all happened, I'm like, we're moving upstate. Guy I was a fire marshal with, Tommy Creppin, he was a fireman, 48 truck, he was a fire marshal. He goes, Larry, he goes, put in for the 6th Division, put in for the 3rd Battalion. So he goes, and fill out your paper and bring it to this guy that's at the borough. So I followed Tommy's advice. I don't know. I'm from Brooklyn. I know what the busy areas and the companies are. I don't know. I know the numbers. You hear them. Now I go up to the city. And I hit lotto. No, really. I hit lotto when I get up there. So I get assigned to the 6th Division. I bounce for about a year and a half. You go through every house in the division, maybe twice or whatever it may be. But I had some really close friends already assigned to 50 engine and 19 truck. And I was doing a vacation there. And the lieutenant that I was at the hospital with today, I was doing a vacation, and his name is Danny Finnegan. And talking about salty guys, he was a Vietnam vet, 28 truck, 50 engine as a lieutenant. And he says, hey, Larry, he goes, I meet the guy, he goes, you got to put the next mutual in the book with the division because I got a little biopsy problem with my prostate. It's like, okay, Dan, whatever you want, sir. I'm like, I'm the Johnny Lieutenant, whatever you want to work. So I called the division, put the mutual in, and next tour, I'm working at 24. Danny Finnegan calls the firehouse. He asks for the engine officer. He says, hey, Dan, it's Larry Mack. He says, my blood pressure dropped. He goes, they're putting a stint in this afternoon. The captain's coming in tonight. I'm done. I'm like, oh, my God.
All about timing, man.
Captain comes in. I go, Daniel's done, Cap. He goes, "Oh my God." I go, "Can I take a spot?"
I knew you. I said it's all about timing. There's no way you can get those spots without. There's no
The
way.
guy didn't even get to stint in yet. And I'm lining up the spot.
Pressure's not even down yet.
Hey, we'll get it till later. Lou knows. So I've been driving him, his wife. He's been in the hospital 2 months. So hopefully he's going to get out tomorrow. He goes, so I'm driving his wife. He goes, "First you took my lock and now you're taking my wife?" So that's how and the guys. So now I'm UFO there. And a couple other good friends of mine. Again, Tommy Lynch was the Bronx trustee at the time. I used to bartend with him out in the Hamptons and Hunter. And Pat Manning, I used to bartend at his brother's bar. And a couple of guys, Red Mini. So they went to the captain and said, "Nah, Larry Mack's good guys. We bartended with him." The captain says, "I got enough bartenders. Can he put out a fire? Pat says, "The men put out the fire. He'll be all right." And that's what happened the next 20 years. The men put out the fire, and I went along for the ride. So
Beautiful.
That's good stuff, man.
Hey, Mike Milner keeps asking about Larry Myerjack. You work with him?
Oh,
Jim Myerjack.
Jim Myerjack. I'm sorry, Larry Mack and Jim Myerjack. Right.
When I was covering the vacations there, Jim Myerjack was still working, and I only knew Jimmy from The Rock. He was one of the.
He was at The Rock for my
Fitness guys.
probie class in '93.
The first gym out there. If you go to The Rock today, the sign still says.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the gym. Yeah.
Jim Myerjack, and he was probably one of the first guys that really told us that. We got to run and we got to lift weights and stay in shape and stuff like that. And then I get the spot, and Jimmy retires. He was like one of those legendary guys. But he was very spiritual and yoga and swimming and.
He was doing some crazy shit like that, Larry. Like he would show up at the probie school and he's like, if you ever really just, you want to get your flexibility going, if you're on the train, and he would sit down like. In his leg, so his butt was touching the floor, but he would sit down and stand up and sit down like he would do. Yeah. I'm like, could you imagine doing that on the train in 90? Like you get, get like 20 guys on you, like flies on shit.
Jimmy was a big man, and he was, he started like a running club down there by the projects. Like he would just go down there by himself, and like all the kids would be like, look at this guy, and he would just. Come on, we're gonna run, and they'd run around the block, they'd chase this, big white guy, and he was just
No, he was a big dude.
He was just into helping people, but getting nice Jimmy Myerjack story, which gets back to also Mike McPaul, retired deputy chief, 40 years, captain 19, fireman 28.
We got that picture, Petey. Don't we have that picture?
Mike's in the picture with my daughter in a 9/11.
Yeah. Go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Is that one of the newer photos that you saw?
Yes.
It's the one I think it has the news caption.
I get
We're down at the Trade Center.
I got you right here. I got your photo over here.
No, that's Irishman.
Okay. Then That's not it either.
No, there's Dano. There's the guy that I drove today, and there's the guy who took his spot. He's a big man. Down to 150. He's down 150 pounds, but
shit.
He goes out. He's getting out of the hospital tomorrow.
What's up with him?
Let's say bad plumbing. Bad plumbing. We'll go with that. And I'd ask the brothers out there, say prayer for Dano, and just one of those great guys from the old, guys I look up to. There's Mike McPaul. This is we're down at the Trade Center getting ready to do a bike ride. We'll get into it, but Mike McPaul is he's like a lieutenant or captain at the time. He's down at the Rock, and he meets Myerjack. Mike was in pretty good shape, and Myerjack says to the instructors, "Anybody want to go for like a 5-mile run before like 7 in.the morning before the class starts?" So Mike goes, you got to know Mike McPaul. Mike goes, "Yeah, I'll be here." So Mike gets down to the Rock, 6:30 in the morning, and the gym used to be the rear, the building at the rear. So Mike's stretching, and he's doing the hamstring things on the thing, right where the water is, and it's like 5 after 6, whenever the guy Myerjack's supposed to show up. And Mike's like, "This fucking guy ain't gonna show up," He's like, and Mike's doing his thing, and he looks out in the water. Here comes Myerjack kayaking. Myerjack already did the East River or whatever river's out there, and he comes in, Mike was looking at him and he goes, "All right, I'm ready to run." He's like, "I'm dead. I'm in trouble now, man."
Holy
Those
shit.
guys are so freaking funny, man. Oh my God. Thinking outside the box, right? All the time. Like nobody would do any of that shit.
I really want to move into the story before we run out of time about your friend on 9/11, but one quick one from Mikey Milner.
Give me one from Mikey Milner.
Mikey Milner is asking about Alva and Donahue.
Donahue, I don't know, but Tony Alva was the
Professional skateboarder was Tony Alva.
Tony Alva was the captain of 19 truck back in the day. Mike worked with him. Probably did 15, 20 years there as the captain of 19.
Wow.
You got out.
That was before that Seelig was. That's before Seelig.
Right. Before Seelig. I don't know who exactly was after. Seelig was there, and Mike Mcpaul was there. Bobby McNicholas, Kieran Kilduff. Now we have Francis Augerman. Augie was a captain, fireman down the block. So we've had some great guys in the truck and the engines. I mean, I've had really 2 captains of 15-inch and 2 mutual partners in 20 years I did there.
Yeah, so people are staying there a long time, right?
Jerry Cash and the guy who just retired the other day, Mike Alexander, which is just a story in himself. We'll get to him on the ride. And my 2 mutual partners was Larry Sorensen and myself and Billy Pepinakis. Billy Pepinakis is a 112 guy, but Larry Sorensen and I get the assignment on the same order. Larry Mack, Larry Sorensen. So the captain comes in, says, who's going to be Larry number 1? Who's going to be Larry number 2? All right. I said, I'll be 1, he'll be 2, whatever. So first tour, I'm a lieutenant there, assigned there. I think I'm going to the Rock, and phone alarm comes in, and of course you take it in. Kids trapped the whole thing, and it ends up being food in the stove. So I get to the Rock 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late.
Yeah, they're pissed off, right?
They're pissed off. They called the battalion. They called the division. The next set of tours, everybody's there. The captain goes, "Larry Mack, you're going to be the bad Larry." Says to Larry Sorensen, "You're going to be the good Larry." and Larry is just as crazy as I am or not am. Whatever. 2 tours go by. Larry Sorensen catches a job up in the 7th Division. Again, bunker gear is pretty new. And we had some old guys, senior guys that really weren't there bunker gear.
Yeah, they didn't want to wear it. Yeah.
Wear it. And they catch a good job, taking 2 or 3 people out of portable and whatever. In the 7th Division and 6th Division always bumped heads a little bit. And 7th Division calls to battalion, "What the hell are you guys doing? They're not wearing." I went and talked to the officer, and I said, where do you work? Who are those guys? And he says, "I don't know," because he had all the paper, what units he was covering, and he didn't have the ride list yet, So he screams. So now he comes into work, and the captain says, "You're the bad Larry, and you're the good Larry." So for the next 12 years, 10, 15, 12 years.
I love it.
And it would come in the kitchen. And
flip-flop?
The 10 guys in the kitchen go, "Who's working tonight, the good Larry or the bad Larry?" And it was just really one of my closest friends. And we had a great run as the
it's good
as
stuff.
the Larrys.
Larry, I say all the time, like the houses that keep you know how it is. Guys get promoted. Sometimes you could roll through a lot of offices and firemen, in a short period of time, and it changes the way the firehouse is. But if you can keep offices, it just helps the firehouse in general because they know you're consistent. They know what to expect. It just is a better thing, I think.
The chiefs would come. The chiefs,
Right.
Washington Avenue. That's how everybody says, "Where's 1519?" Go Washington Avenue. Listen, everybody should say the firehouse is a special place. Washington Avenue is a special place on a job, and in my heart, and that's why I never studied for captain.
Right. That's why people stayed up in these places for so long because they don't want to move out.
I get to this place that's like, one of the top guns in the city. And I'm like, why am I going to study? This is what I wanted my whole career, and now I got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
I just ride it out. I just stay there. So it's
it's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
So Pete, what did you want to talk about? You were talking.
Well, you had your story, and we have some video of you, and we should. I know that's a kind of long one, and I don't think we should end this show without telling your friend's story and what you did for his family. So I'll leave it to you, LT.
You want to tell a story or roll a?
Oh, okay, so
Should we watch the video? You guys want to see the video first? A little bit of the video, which puts it in.
go ahead.
Okay, so let me pull it up. Stand by. Here we go, guys. From Good Morning America. Here we go.
Larry.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you've impacted so many lives. How do you feel watching that?
I'm just blown away.
That's not the right video there, Pete. I don't know.
Yeah, some nonsense, and Jimmy's my delegate, and
That's not it.
Well, the voice is not right.
It's not sunk. Yeah, it's not sunk. I don't know what happened with that. All right,
So, Larry, just give us
Yeah.
the quick synopsis while Petey's working on that thing there.
Sure. So there's also a picture of my. So Vinny Hollins, went to first grade with him. We stayed friends in high school, and then we both got on a job, and both in each other. He was in my wedding party and everything. And Vinny gets on, the job. He starts in 262, goes up to 43-inch in the Bronx, becomes lieutenant, goes to a truck in Manhattan. On 9/11, he's working, and Vinny gets killed on 9/11. His company gets out. Vinny either stopped to help somebody or tell the chief that his company was out, and Vinny don't make it. So he had 5 boys, and his wife Marie was 2 months pregnant on 9/11, and they lived maybe 10-15 minutes from me, and I stepped in to help out. But what I like to stress, guys, 1,000 guys did the same thing I did. This whole job stepped up, and anytime we have a tragedy, the brothers step up, and so I helped my friend out. And Good Morning America decides they're going to do something called Father of the Year. I have 2 great kids. I try to be a good father. And they call the union and go, we want to do a thing fireman related 9/11. The union guys are sitting around. Hey, what about this guy's story? What about this guy's story? What about, hey, what about Larry Mack? 5 kids and 2 months pregnant. TV goes, yeah, that's the story we want. And so
how did you help out, Larry? You say you helped out. What'd you do?
I took the kids to Met games, the police fire hockey games, took a couple of kids camping. My wife said to me, we can help, we're going on vacation. Let's take 2 or 3 of the kids, give Marie a break. So,
you kind of stepped in as a dad role.
I think there's a little, I helped out.
So
Right.
I have the original video, Lou, and I think I watched it down prior. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit. So
Yeah,
when
I
they
want to get to
introduce
where the kids are talking. That's
I
the most
chopped it down on the fly here, and I don't know what happened. We got
right.
a little jumbled. Let's see what goes on. Hold on one
Do it.
second here. I got the other one right here.
It is time to kick off our wait for this. Sarah Haynes, tell us where you are.
Has no idea we're here.
Here we go.
Excuse me, Lieutenant Mack? Is there a Lieutenant Mack here? Hi. How are you? I'm Sarah with Good Morning America.
Hello, how are you?
I'm going to take you on a little walk here, so you follow me. We're live on television, so look right in the camera.
All right. What's
Wave to
going
your
on?
friends. No, this is a good thing.
Okay.
It is live TV, though, so we're going to really quick pop a mic on you. Don't be nervous. I'm sure you're wondering why we're here today.
Don't be nervous.
Yes, I am.
And I wanted to tell you that we are here not to honor you for the work you do here, but the difficult job you do at home as a dad.
Okay.
Father's Day is right around the corner.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
And we have been speaking with your kids
Okay.
who shared your beautiful story, and we all fell in love with it at Good Morning America.
All right, thank you.
So you might want to get your Kleenexes ready.
All right.
But we are going to show everyone that's watching today, and you, why we've picked you today.
Okay.
And George Stephanopoulos has the story. Take a look right over here.
All right.
Vinny Halloran and Larry Mack were the best of friends from the get-go. Even into adulthood, they shared everything. Every holiday, every family function, and almost every game played by the New York Jets. They joined the fire department together. And on September 11th, Vinny perished, leaving behind his wife, Marie, their 5 boys, and a daughter on the way. Larry stepped in.
He helped keep everything together when we couldn't.
He would take us to camp trips, he'd take us to hockey games.
He has his own family through all of this. And for a lot of people, just managing your own is a lot.
Larry has 2 children of his own.
He, if I could describe him, is the best dad ever. Like, he's been so good to the Holland family along with me and my brother.
My dad taught me to stay loyal to your childhood friends.
The Hallorans say they will never forget what Larry has done.
I love him. His smile is kind of like contagious, and you just can't help but be happy whenever you're around him. I used to call him Uncle Larry when I was younger, and I really didn't even know that if he was or wasn't my uncle.
He himself is the gift. And he's given that to my family and to so many other people.
He never had to do all of those things he did.
And the kids might not say it, and I might not say it, but he's important to us. And he's a great example for his children. He's a great example for my children. We're better for knowing him and having him in our lives.
This morning,
Surprise!
You're the best father ever.
we honor the memory of one father
Thank you, Larry. Happy Father's Day.
and the gift of another.
We love you, Larry.
Whoa.
I think I'm gonna cry.
I'm already crying. I'm already tearing
Shit.
up. No shit here.
In the epic words of Aaron Elwood Irvin in the chat, onions. Because I'm done. That's it.
Look what Cheeseman wrote. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm a little bit.
Cheese, thank you, buddy. I needed that laugh. That was
Wow, bro.
Dude, that is well, I mean, what's more important than that, man? What
Thanks, guys.
There's not enough money to earn that.
You're the best, dude.
I'm just I get a lot of kadoos, but it's only I'm part of the big puzzle out there. Listen, I have a reputation and it's pretty good, but it's because of the guys behind you, from the guys that broke me in to the guys I worked with the last 20 years. If you don't have 50 engine behind my name, it's like, might not mean as much as saying, something, whatever. But I had a great company, had a great career, and I'm retired. I got hurt. I was out on medical leave when they did that video, and I was just with the family 3 or 4 days ago. The one kid, Kieran, is in the middle of becoming a Jesuit priest, and they're sending him down to Mexico next week for a year, and he got his calling, and I just tried to do again.
Listen, the bottom line is, you character is made, right? What do they say? When nobody's looking, right? That's when like you're a true, you're a hero, for lack of a better term. I mean, the bottom line is, it's easy to be rah-rah when everybody's there, and then as time goes by, to put the time in, it's not easy to do. You know that. It's a lot of work. So, you're not giving yourself enough credit. I know you're trying to be humble, but the bottom line is, when I watched that, and like you said, there were guys, Kevin and I, there was a lot of families that, we took care of. We lost a lot of guys in our place. But to do it over time, that's a sign of a real person, a real man. You know what I mean? That's not easy to do. So
I appreciate it.
Kudos to you, really. It's a treat.
I'll turn it into a lot of subjects. So we know what all the brothers did all these years, right? So, my wife, I was living with Vinny before he got married, and my wife at the time, I'm a little separated these days, but she allowed me to do things, but she's friends with my wife, my ex, and Marie would say, "Larry, how come you never hit on me?" all these other wives or guys are hitting or getting married or run away because I go, "Marie, you're my best friend's wife." I do have some standards, not many, but we have a running joke about that, which I love her for. So that's that.
I just want to say, like, on a personal note, I've never even seen anything like that, and you took it to the next level, dude. This is of all the stories, and we've had a lot of 9/11 stories. This is probably the most touching one, and I mean, I'm not to discredit anyone else's, because everyone's experience is valid, but it's really heartwarming. Also, if I don't say this, Ronnie from the Fire Rider says hello, and if I don't say hello, he's gonna kill me. So
Ronnie helps us out on our bike ride.
There you go.
With the Fire Riders, they're a special crew also.
Nice.
Hey, Larry, you know what really stuck out to me in that piece? was how your kids. I would imagine it would be very easy for kids to become jealous of their dad spending time. It says a lot about you and how you raised your kids, how they appreciated what you were doing for another family, man. And that not only you helping those people, but what you did with raising your own kids to make them realize, what you were doing. It's amazing to me. It just shows what an amazing dad you are to your own kids, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got good kids.
Did you beat them? I always beat the kids. Beat the kids.
Listen, I'm no angel, bro.
Backhands only, though.
When we go up here, you'll hear these stories. You're gonna find out I'm the bad Larry.
I told you I love this guy when I first met him. When I first came on, didn't I say that at the beginning?
So Kubies, I think we got time for one more story before we go to an old school tip. We're getting.
Oh, Jesus, we're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Okay, you tell me when, because listen,
whatever you got.
Shoot whatever else you need to get out. This is it. This is the one.
I'll give you real quick. Jeff Cool, Black Sunday 5. Jeff Cool's in the hospital.
Cool. Yeah,
man. Yeah, we had him on.
Truck goes to Rescue 3. So they're back. Devastating fire for all of us. I stay a night. I pull a watch outside Jeff Cool's room. Jeff was the defenseman for the hockey team. I was the goalie for the Firehouse hockey team. So I sucked as goalie. So my nickname was Red Light. So Jeff Cool. Jeff Cool's in the hospital. Hasn't spoke to anybody in like 4 days. He's unconscious. He's got this traumatic injury. And about 4 a.m, I peek my head in the room, and Jeff goes, "Hey, Red Light." "Hey, Jeff, what's up?" He goes, "I got to take a shit." I go, "All right." So I run out to the nurse's desk. It's like the Files, 4 a.m. Nobody's around. So I get this nurse, and I said, "Fireman Cool's got to go to the bathroom." We go in there. She goes, "Put on the blue gloves." I'm like, "Oh, God, put on the blue gloves." So now CFRD got the blue gloves on. He picks them up. We slide the bedpan under. Jeff loves the story. And Jeff does a little thing, and it's like your baby's first shit in a diaper.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
God put smell in the poo-poo.
The doctors come, they run out with the little poo. I'm there with the nurse. She's holding up. She goes, "Wipe Fireman Cool's ass." I'm like, shit, I'm only supposed to be like doing house watch here. Wipe Fireman Cool's.
The brothers aren't going to believe this.
So I wipe Fireman Cool's butt, and and Jeff passes out from the stuff he's on and everything. So I go, "This nurse can barely speak English. I'll never see her again. It's going to be my little secret in the FDNY." 6 months later, Jeff Cool's out throwing a party for everybody to help him out. And he's holding court in the room. He goes, "I only had one bad night in the hospital."
Here he comes.
He goes, "I'm the only firefighter to ever have a lieutenant wipe his ass."
Come on, man.
That's great.
Come on, man.
Oh, man. You know what I gotta say to that? Big Mac. That's what I gotta say to that.
Very nice.
I'm gonna go fast forward real quick. So 2015, the FDNY makes the Irishman of the Year with Jerry Brangle. 800 people at Anton's. I get the microphone. I gotta thank everybody my whole career. The pipe band is the best. Back to the pipe band. There's a picture of Liam Flaherty there.
Yeah, we got a couple of pictures of Liam there, Petey.
So if you got
the band.
The other quick story is who took the captain of Rescue 2 to his first fire?
You did.
238, Larry Madison. Oh, Liam gets so mad when I tell him. He goes,
Wait a minute. He was in 238?
Yep. The sleeper company.
I didn't know he was in 238.
Yeah, you tell him.
I thought he was a 157 guy. Was he 157?
Nah, he went up to 44 truck. Then he went
44 truck. You're right. I'm sorry. 44
he went
truck.
up to 44, and then I get promoted. I go up to 44, and we run into him all the time. Liam does a great job with the band. The whole band is unbelievable. So I love.
Great.
I love Liam. I'm sitting around with Eddie Kilduff at a thing and a bunch of things. And Liam's there, and I go, "Chief Kilduff, who took the captain?" And they're all going like this.
Captain of Rescue 2 with his first fire. This guy.
It wasn't much.
I didn't even know that, Larry. How long was he there for?
A short time. Liam was a great cut-home kid, and like you said, certain kids come into place, and he's like, "Yeah, I got him." He had to get out of there right away. And he went up to the Bronx, with the band as soon as he could, and God bless him. I think he's gonna have 30 years on
Yeah, no, he's still pushing out there, man.
We're gonna get him on someday when he retires.
And then that's really Irishman of the Year was a great thing. Again, 50 engine 19 truck to me. Milton always pumps them up. It's just, in the oasis of the ghetto, it's just one of those places that always had a great reputation, always did a lot of work. The brothers do the right thing. On the 10th anniversary 9/11, Mike Alexander, the captain of 50 engine, says, I'm getting on my bicycle. I'm getting out of New York City. I'm going to ride 343 miles. So everything else in this job, what are the guys in the kitchen? Yeah, Cap, I'll go with you. So the 10th anniversary, I couldn't leave the family. So about 75 or 60 riders with the vet, Dwayne Moss, he was a fireman in 19, Lieutenant 22 truck. His son lost his leg in Afghanistan. They ride 343 miles to Washington, D.C. And we raised like 10 grand. We bought the kid a car to go back to school. The guy says, let's do it next year. We ride from to Trade Center to Montauk, 11th, 12th, 13th year, 14th year. 15th year, we ride down to Montauk, down to Washington, D.C., to the Pentagon. We ride into Arlington Cemetery. We go to Chris Engeldrum's grave. And have
shit.
Wow.
I'm rushing it now because I'm on the
No, you dude, you got time. Larry, don't rush anything.
So,
Petey, put that website up. That's the website for Larry's for the bike ride.
I got you, boss.
Don't rush anything, Larry.
Yeah, no, I thought you were pushing.
No. We got plenty of time.
So in this year, last year we couldn't ride due to COVID. This year we're going to ride again to DC. I just started training last week. The Firehouse. We have shirts, we have raffles, we have website, we have PayPal. We've raised over $1 million for wounded veterans.
No shit. And that you could donate right on the website there.
Yeah, go right to the website. You call the flyer. Like we send flyers out. A couple times. There's so many T-shirts out there, and the jobs. Is real good buying stuff. But
just for the listening audience, because this will be up on iTunes and so on and so forth. It's www.fdny343ride.com. And
yep.
I just want to make sure that
how long are you doing that?
We started on the 10th anniversary, and we're going to probably end it this year. Only the fact, we're registered 503. We're all legit.
501 or whatever.
503C3. 503C3.
As any really good charity, like a good golf outing, for a brother, you get 10 years out of a.
Yeah, Ronaldson did that for a long time, right? I mean, that was incredible.
So this is going to be 11 years. We've hit over $1 million. We're into track chairs or special wheelchairs that look like little tanks.
Yeah, right.
They're $16,000 each. We've bought probably 20 of them. Building homes for heroes, we help. There's another great group out there, A Soldier's Journey Home. It's run by Pat. He's a lieutenant from 42 Truck. They build a house once a year. Our job does so many good things for the neighbor, where they work, for elderly, for handicapped, for firefighter, for veterans. This job, is what we do at work is one thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
What we do besides
I did the Purple Hearts. I know we built a few houses. I know I did that a few times. Just guys were like, "You want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm off that day." And we went up and it's what we do, especially for the vets. I mean, there's so much. The guys in the firehouse, no matter what it is, we're doing something for the vets all the time.
I have a picture up there. Pete, I have it. 2008, another great story. The Pope comes to New York City. He's going to do a thing in Yankee Stadium.
Here it is.
So the 6th and 7th Division, they tell us we're going to be altar boys. They ask like 200 firemen. We're going to help give out communion, just people down the aisle. So we get a secret. We go to Cardinal Hayes thing. They give us a little briefing. That's my buddy Chris Hogan. He's retired from the job. His brother was on the job. His dad just passed away, 93 years old, was on the job. Just a good friend of mine I grew up with, but that's us, the Pope in the background. But you imagine like 200-300 firemen. We were the altar boys for the Pope. It's pretty
nice.
It was pretty good stuff.
Hey, you didn't imagine. Pull up the picture of him and his brother too. Your brother.
I was just gonna say, you didn't talk about your brother.
Oh, my kid brother.
Maybe because he's the chief now, the big shot, big chief now.
So I'm happy to say my brother. He was a steam fitter though with my father.
Of course he was.
He got on the job, had a great career, 95 engine. I didn't have a spouse, lieutenant, captain of 68 engine, made captain with Timmy Stackpole and the rest of them. couple days before 9/11.
Mm.
And, he went up to the Bronx. He ended up being a captain of 68 engine. He went to Staten Island for 2 years. He got bumped out of his spot because the chief went to church with Cassano. The story goes. So he was able to come back to the Bronx. He ends up being a chief of 17, and we ran in together. And
we got another picture there, Petey, with him and his brother in with their turnout stuff on.
Yeah, my mother keeps on going. What?
How old's your mom?
My mom's 93 last week.
Nice.
2 weeks
God,
ago.
you got good genes, bro.
My mother's like, how come you didn't study like your brother? I'm like, because I went to 50 engine, that's why.
I had work to do.
Hey, Larry, needless to say, me, you, or your brother won't be starting a basketball team at any time, bro.
No, not at all. And the other great story, I have the tickets from, that's my brother. Proud of the guy, did 32 years up there. You know, I'm the loudmouth, I'm the guy. And he, you know, when he's bouncing or going to wherever.
Oh, I'm the same way, man.
You know, he's like
my cousin.
Oh, you're that crazy guy from the Bronx? No, that's my brother, my older brother. You know.
Yeah. My cousin, like they always say, like I could talk, you know, nonstop. My cousin, he doesn't say 2 words. You know what I mean? So every time I would see somebody in Brook, he's in 132. He's a lieutenant in 132. So they'd be like, "Is that your brother in 132?" I'm like, "No, that's my cousin." He's like, doesn't talk much, huh? You know, like like I'm always bullshitting all the time. I'm always talking.
Try having a brother who's a deputy chief who don't smile much, bro.
Oh my god!
You're the fun Kubla, right? I'm like,
yeah, but there's a puppet of him. We need to make a Koobs puppet too.
Yeah.
So if you want to get back, I have the original ticket, my 9/11 ticket.
I got you.
So you know, like all of us, I was working the night before, and we get the first ticket says 9/10, and we're sitting around a block from the firehouse at a gas leak, and the chief tells everybody take up 50. You stay here, get a little overtime, and wait for Con Edison. You know, and you know, now it's like 9 o'clock. I said, we're right around block from firehouse. I said, don't worry about Con Ed. We go to the firehouse. No, I call a dispatcher for an ETA. I hear planes crash, so we go to the firehouse. We get this ticket to go to. If you read, it's a structural staging area for Bronx. So 83 engine, 94, 50, 64, 68. That it says engine 35. It's the staging area. So we gather up our shit. Senior man, Bob McLaughlin, comes over. You know, he was 2 war years there. He come on and says, Larry, be careful. Something's different tonight. I'm like, all right. And we respond to 35 engine. So 94 is there, 50's there, 64, 68's there. 83 engine is on the borderline of the Harlem to 35 engine. They read the ticket. They're not there. I called the dispatcher, go, you know, 4 units are here. We're ready to go. Where's 83 engine? I go, I don't know. So he tends them. They just see Manhattan somewhere on the ticket. They see Manhattan.
They went straight there.
They go to the FDR, and they're on the FDR, and they're north of the 59th Street Bridge. So the 60s or 70s. 83, where are you? We're on the FDR responding to the trade center. No, you're not. You're going to the staging area. We'll continue in. No, you won't. Go to this. They got to get off the highway and get up to 35 meters. It takes them, 15 minutes. I see them on the light. I call the dispatch, go, 83's here. They go to West. The next ticket says go to Weston Vesey staging area. So the 5 units from the Bronx, we zigzag from the east side to the west side. We drive down the west side highway, park our rigs. The stupid firemen from the Bronx were like, yeah, we're going to put this fire out. South Tower's down. We don't know. We're coming from the north. We just see smoke and debris. And we start walking toward, get our gear, and we start walking towards the tower. We get to Murray and Warren, past that white trestle, and I hear a rumble, look up. The north tower's, the antenna's moving. We run the other way, and we're okay. And it's all because
they were the
83 took the
being an
box
aggressive
in.
company, a great company, like the whole job is sees Manhattan, doesn't read the ticket, saves 5 companies from the Bronx. So being a lot closer. I don't know where we would have been. And then the rest of the day, we know what happens. And then, but 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I take my guys to the south side because they're saying 7's going to fall. Every 10 minutes we're running. 7's falling, and so I take them to the south side.
I remember that. Yep.
We go over to Albany Street, and we go into a building to take a blow. We grab some water out of a grocery store and some bananas and granola bars, and a civilian walks out of the stairwell. There's not a civilian with it. It's 4 PM now. 5 just about to fall. It was going to fall. And this guy walks out, goes, and he's Mideastern looking, and we're like, one of my guys is an ex-cop. What are you doing in the building? I think the guy's looting building. So my buddy Jimmy Jaron, he's got the guy against the wall. Doing the whole, he's going to cop mode. And the guy's going, I live here. So he gives me the keys to the apartment. They grab a cop. The cop comes in. He's got a Fu Manchu mustache, ponytail. He looks like a sumo wrestler, and his jacket says Brooklyn Narcotics with the shield hanging out. He goes, what do you want me to do? I go, the guy don't belong in the building, man. He goes, maybe he lives here. We go up, we leave the guy, we go upstairs. No lights in the hallway. The key works in the apartment. He goes, maybe he does live here. He goes, we'll go in and look. But now he takes out his 9mm. Boom. He fucking locks and loads. And he goes, follow me in. I go, no. I go, 100-story building missed me fucking 5 hours ago. I'll stay at the door. He goes in, he yells, it's clear. He goes, what's the address? I'll hold the guy. So, in the old days in wherever you were, Brooklyn, Bronx, you always looked in the refrigerator. Maybe if there's a beer, you downed it, water and allegedly. And looking around, I'm trying to find some mail. The kitchen's not lived in. I open a cabinet. There's a drug scale. Behind the drug scale is a bag of white pills and a bag of white powder. I go like this. I go to the guy. Look at this. He goes, holy shit, you're holding that guy? I run back down there. They had gotten a patrolman. Again, it's total chaos. I tell the patrolman, handcuff him. So he handcuffs the guy. The car comes down. Who are you? I go, well, Lieutenant McPhilly. I don't even get the guy's name. We go back to work. 6 months later, you see in a newspaper, multi-million-dollar drug ring busted. Fireman Robert Morgendow, the DA, Fireman found.
Oh, is that the newspaper thing that we got, Pete?
No, that's
something else. Oh shit!
And 7 people went to jail to an ecstasy drug room. They were watching the building. The poor guy stepped into us. 2 minutes either way, he's gone.
He was gone. Nobody wanted to know shit.
Hope they go and come and look for me.
I can't even believe you were thinking about that stuff. Like even like at that time, like I don't even know what the hell was going on. I was in a daze.
No, the newspaper thing was. I'm newly married. I'm living in Astoria, and I go to church, and then we're gonna go Sunday shopping, and I see 316 getting a meal. I look at the officer. He was my lieutenant for a while, Joe Cali. Sweet guy. He's a captain. He's got the glasses there. He's reading the Sunday papers. They're getting a meal. Hey, Joe. Hey, Cap. How you doing? Hey, Larry. This is my wife. How you doing? And all of a sudden, it's a crowd of people running. So 2 guys had burglarized the house, and the local neighborhood is chasing these 2 young Spanish Mexican guys, and they're chasing them. And so I start chasing the one guy, and the captain gets off the rig. He grabs the axe, and he tackles the guy, and he's got the axe against the guy's neck. And here's my wife, married maybe 6 months. Again, and I'm gone. And I follow the guy. He goes into the park by Boulevard Watch there by the Grand Central.
Yeah. Right by the Grand Central.
Park, and he buries all the jewelry he stole. He doesn't see me. I'm running. I'm across the street. He never looks behind. So, I'm a small guy, and I don't know if the guy's got a knife. So now he's looking for his friend. He goes out. I see a pull box. I pull the box. Right here comes Rescue 4, 2 or 3 other companies, and I go, there he is. So we surround the guy, and we tackle the guy. And now the cops show up. My wife's in the rig.
That's the newspaper article.
That's the newspaper.
Pete, pull up that newspaper article.
That's the newspaper article. So she goes,
check it out.
There's 5. That's the 2 guys arrested to grab the guy. I'm down the picture with the captain, Joe Cali. What a sweetheart of a man.
To put their axe in gear to nab burglary suspects.
Yeah,
nice one, man.
My wife goes talking to the guy with the glasses, reading this paper while the guys are getting a meal. He's yelling, "Get out here!" and he grabs it, and he's got the guy against the hood of a car.
Awesome.
So just another funny story of my,
a lot of stories, kid. Holy mackerel!
Go on and on, man.
All right.
9/11, the ride is just a great thing. If anybody wants to support the ride, I'm hoping to ride this year. I fell 2 years ago. So I got to get back in the saddle, as they say.
Back in the saddle. I'm going to post it up tomorrow on the social media. I'll put it out.
I saw a bunch of people said they donated already in the chat.
No, we're just a bunch of knucklehead firemen, and about 75 riders. We have this vet that rides with us off and on, and it's really every morning we read, we'll read 50 names. Everybody gets a couple pictures taped to your bike. We have a guy, one or two guys, their brothers got killed. We have a wife that gives us, she hands out the Gatorade. So it's really, listen, we can joke around all we want, but
no doubt.
There's some serious stuff out there.
I say, Larry, what I tell you, it ain't a giggle fest. We're not just laughing like idiots the whole fucking time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that.
No. And you tell me, you want the safety? It's 10 o'clock. You tell me. I got this one thing I told you.
Is it time for the old school tip of the day?
Hold on one second.
I'm looking at my notes
We have to make this official.
Larry. We got to make
Hold
it official.
on, Larry.
Hold on, Larry.
Because you know what time it is, Larry? It's time for the old school tip of the day.
Well,
all right, kid, give it to us.
I really, I heard this more when I got up to 1519, talking to guys, and it probably happened in my career a little early on. But if you think you're in trouble, you're probably in trouble. Don't be afraid to call that urgent, God forbid the Mayday, or just call your officer, call your chauffeur. Just tell somebody, yeah, I got turned around, or I got separated. And hopefully in 2 seconds, the guy's right next to you. And you don't know. But most of us, I found 2 times younger in my career that I was probably in a spot I shouldn't have been in. And you know what? We all got our egos. And you don't want to call out. And it all worked out for me. But just don't be afraid to, you'll get your balls broken a little bit, but then it'll turn into a really nice critique in the kitchen. And you're better being here than not being here. And my only other there's a lot of them, but the second one is get involved with the job, especially with your unions. I'm living everything I worked for the last 36 years. And, we had to vote on contracts, not vote on contracts, and separated guys in files at times with the certain things, the man in the VSF. The guys in the union, a little bit smarter than us and getting some advice, and they're not perfect. That's one of the mottos in 19 Truck. Nobody's perfect. And we're just passing through. It's 50.
Just passing through, right?
Just passing through. But get involved with the union, and if you're in trouble, just give somebody quick radio, and next thing you're okay. That's the bottom line. It's just to be okay.
That really is probably one of the best tips you could give to somebody, is because we do that. We definitely do that. We hold, like you said, you usually wait to the last second. Like if you trust that little feeling in your gut that you're something ain't right, it's probably right.
Yep. And I'll zoom. I'm gonna yell real quick here. So I'm retiring in 2015, and the pipe band's up at the 73 Unit 42 truck doing their annual mass. That was Father Michael Judd's last mass, and they have a very nice ceremony the day before, and it's probably gonna be my last day working. I was on light duty mass service unit, and after the mass and everything, we go to the bodega, this Spanish restaurant across the street, and the band puts me in the middle and does the song. And Jerry Brangle, who is Irishman of the Year, takes off his Ballamore. I thought I had right here a Ballamore.
Oh,
I'm all about the props. And
the props.
And since then, I'm part of the color guard.
Nice.
So on my way out, I still, you're always attached to the job, but now I can still carry a flag once in a while, do something with the guys. Getting back to 9/11, and you guys know the guy. I didn't know him. When we were doing the recovery, one night we were very fortunate to find one of the brothers. And I didn't know him, but I know of him, Terry Hatton.
Yeah, sure.
So we, we get the flag, we do the whole thing, we call Rescue 1, and they take him out. Just what everybody did anytime anything happened like that. About 6-7 months after 9/11, we get invited down to Martin County, Florida. We had a connection with guys that had rode with us, and they invited us down for a little R&R. And it got a little blown out of proportion down there, and we go to a little banquet, and it's all the retirees from Martin County down in Florida. And I get introduced to Mr. and Mrs. Hatton. Don't know the man. I didn't know he was on the job. I heard he was a chief, and I grabbed the guy on the side and I go, Mr. Chief Hatton, I said, I was there tonight. We found your, some of your son's remains. And the man was like really moved and happy that there was some kind of connection. And he went and got his wife, which was very upsetting. And what I want to get at, just again, the job so good. I got home. I had a letter from Terry Hatton's parents.
Wow.
Thanking me and the company and the guys, what we did. And I still have that letter today. From a man I didn't know, on that was a horrific day that all those guys, especially when they had sons on the job, and the man wrote me a letter, and I keep that letter serious to my heart.
That's great stuff, man.
That was just a couple of my little notes, we can get back to the fun stuff. Oh, you forgot about the Jets. The New York Jets is the other great story.
I don't think I have that picture, though.
I'm a
I
big
didn't take
Jets
that
fan, bro.
picture. You want me to send it to Petey quick?
Who's the Jet fan?
Me.
Coobs is a
So
crazy
everybody
Jet.
knows Fireman Ed, right?
Yep.
Yes, Jets. So before Fireman Ed, I'm a year out of high school to get season tickets to the Jets. And I'm at a game, and I decided I'm going to try and do a Jet chant. And I get up and Jets, but it was the late 70s, and you might on occasion take your shirt off and hang a moon when something happened, and the Jets scored, and I must have hung a moon, and that was that, I come back 2 weeks later, everybody's like, do that cheer again. By the end of the season, I got a green wig on, I got green paint, and I got "Let's Go" written on my back, and Jets across my butt, and green paint. And every time the Jets scored, which wasn't often, I would get up and do the Jet chant and the Jet cheer. And it starts turning into like the whole upper deck doing it. I'm running down to the lower deck. Meanwhile, I'm a probie, I'm 79, and I go down to the lower deck, and I'm doing a cheer, and I sit next to this guy. I got a green wig. Guy looks at me. It's this 14-year-old daughter and his wife. He looks at me and goes, "You're the goddamn probie in the firehouse." My cover was blown. This guy has clothes over the
That's
chain.
crazy.
So, 1984, the Jets go to the Meadowlands. I can't go. I lived in Flushing, Queens. I can't get home from Flushing, Queens. I give up my tickets. They get there. Fireman Ed, they get Parcells. They start to win. He puts on a helmet, gets on his brother's shoulders, does a cheer. Eddie's a rock star.
He is a rock star. That guy's a rock star, man, right?
So now 2017, 7, the Jets decided to have Fan Hall of Fame. I don't go anymore. I started going again with my son. I gave my tickets up. Eddie gets in the first year Hall of Fame, and then my buddy goes, "Larry," "You started the cheer." I go, "Eddie always gives me credit. We do TV shows together." No, he writes a letter to the Jets. 2018, I get into the Jet Fan Hall of Fame.
Come on!
I run out onto the field. Fireman Ed puts that jacket on me. It's like now everything the Jets do, I'm like a B celebrity. I get called to things. I go to it's
really.
Like,
I'm like a B celebrity.
For being this like crazy kid, like painting my body green, and so that's the Jet story.
That's pretty good, man.
Where was he? Where was he? A fireman Ed. Where was he?
Actually, Eddie started in 104,
right?
And Mike Mcpaul was passing to his lieutenant. Mike's from 28 truck, and Eddie's he's a captain.
A lot of 28, yeah.
And then he transferred up to 28 truck and did the rest of his time.
Is that his original helmet? He painted white.
No, I don't know the whole story about the helmet. But
I mean, how long is he doing that? That's a long time.
No, I'm Eddie's. I'm 63. Eddie's 62, and he slowed down a little bit, and he stopped going on his brother's shoulders, and
That's
his brother's older than him.
Nothing good could come out of that. That's for sure.
No.
But I do remember those at the games, man. Him stepping up on his shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to wrap it up quick and.
Good stuff, Larry, man. Really, I have to say, man, I enjoyed everything so far.
I appreciate it. I hope I did the job right.
Larry,
just from the super chat here, Joe Lopez, guys are great. I'm an Iraq war vet. Always wanted to be a FDNY firefighter. Love what you guys do. Thank you, Joe Lopez.
Thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you. Check out the website. There's videos from our first ride. Just full of things we do. Just nice stuff.
Patty Lee in the chat, my old Lieutenant 117 says 40 years of Jet season tickets. I got squat.
Nice.
Nice.
I knew I liked Patty Lee. He's a Jet fan. So, Larry, I got to say this quickly. You really are the embodiment of what every firefighter is from multiple things. Being a great dad, giving back to the job. Like I don't know if I've ever met a guy who gives back to the job as much as you do, bro. Like even now that you're retired and you're doing the family transport, all the things that you were involved with, the riders, the whole thing. Like this is you. Like I said, you are the embodiment of what the fire service is, man. It's just a brotherhood, and I've never met a guy like that, bro.
I appreciate it. I'm up in Hudson Valley. We call it Putnam County, Westchester. I'm the vice president of the retirees up here. We got a real nice, every bar, Nassau County's got a group, Suffolk County, Rockland Orange. My buddy Tommy Lynch again started this group up here. We're going to have a luncheon next Thursday because of COVID. We didn't, but again, involved with the union. You retire, you want to retire and have nothing to do with this beautiful job. You can just go, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to be involved, there's the council unit to help out. There's the family assistance. There's just things, and everybody has their little niche. Like Billy Carlson called and his friends with Billy. He's the burn center. I never did anything with the burn center. There's just things.
When would you have time, for Christ's sake? You got.
What the hell was he doing when he was working? For God's sakes!
Oh my God! You're raising two families. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're doing it. Come on, you have no time. Enough's enough.
But I told Lou a little bit about this real quickly. Like I said, I'm famous for a lot of good things, bad things, good Larry, bad Larry. But somewhere the most important thing I know to you guys and to hopefully most of the job, and I try to pass on, is to never forget our fallen brothers. And before any function that my company has, either before or after, I do a toast. And the last, I'm retired 5 years, and the coalition at Metal Day or Memorial Day up in the Bronx, 10 years prior to that, whatever company's doing it, they pretty much give me the microphone. It's their show because they're running, hosting it. But I get everybody in a circle and want everybody to remember our fallen brothers. And I always say I don't know them all, and my files breaks my chops a little bit because they're tired of it. But they call it the dead man toast. But it's not. It's really remember our brothers. So in my ending, I would like everybody to raise a glass and the audience and. You guys gonna yell. I'm gonna yell out a couple names. I want you guys to yell out a couple names, and the guys that are on the chat type in a name, and never forget. And God bless our brothers, and God bless the FDNY. I'll start with my friend Vinny Holloran, Jack Paltry, which is another story I didn't get into. The band. If we can go back to George Gabriel. Help me out with the names.
Joe Hunter, Lee, John Ielpi.
John Ielpi. Yeah, Pete
Timmy
Brennan.
Welty.
Timmy Welty.
Maya Jack, John Ballou, Myron.
Richie Scofani.
The Fidelia guys.
Steve Kleehouse is coming in with Mike Cawley.
That 136 Road and Rescue 4, Mike Cawley.
Yeah. Another guy from 136, Smith. I went to Proby School with.
Yep.
The captain up there.
Mm-hmm.
Patty Lee's coming in. Pete Gansey. Pete Martin, Joseph Davey, Kevin O'Rourke, Pat O'Keefe, Billy Lake,
Patty O'Keefe,
Bronco.
Lincoln Quap. I don't know who that is.
Lincoln Quape. Rescue 2.
Pete Lango.
Salute to all fallen brothers. God bless. Never forget. And guys, thanks for everything you do. And
you know what, Larry? I'm going to give him the 5 belts. I got the 5 belts. Thereby.
Salute.
Cheers, brothers.
Salute.
All right, we're going to have you back on. I could tell already. I could feel it.
Larry, we're going to get
I'm going to do some.
Yeah.
Next time, I'll be prepared next time.
Well, when we do our engine up, we're going to do some. We've been doing these drills where we get a bunch of the old timers. So if we're doing engine ops down the road, maybe I'll give you a tickle. I'll give you a little heads up of what we're doing, and we like to do like a little kitchen table drill with a bunch of guys. We'll have like 2 or 3 old timers talk about stuff. So
you call him an old timer?
He's up there, man. He's up there. He got on 7.
Real quick. I'll go back real quick about 5019. So we had this guy, a Haitian man, Jack Poultry, one of the best guys up in 50 Engine. He is going to retire. 9/11 happened. He stays 2 or 3 years. The Files had a band, just a cover band. So Jack didn't play an instrument, but Jack used to hang out big time. So now the band's going to play, and they're going, what are we going to name the band? The band's got to have a name, So we're not going to go with the, stupid backdraft name or whatever. So they end up naming the band Jack. It was really Jacques. Jack and the Caucasians. So Jack's family goes down to Florida. They retire. Now we're gonna have what are you gonna do for Jack's last meal? We put the band on the road. We get 3 Winnebagos, 40 guys.
Come on,
we play in 3 cities. And we drop him off at his doorstep.
Oh my God, I love
Jack and the Caucasians. One of the great, I don't know.
Where can you get those records?
Oh,
awesome!
I love it.
I got only like these notes. You went way. I thought I was going to run out of stuff.
No, dude. I told you, it goes very, very fast. I say before you know it, you blink your eyeballs. 2 hours. 2 hours is gone. But,
yeah, we'll have a call.
That's why I want to apologize. But that's why I was trying to move everyone along so that we would get more stories in. So right. I'm glad I did. Now I'm really glad I did because we got them. We got a lot of them in. So
we'll get more. We'll get more.
Absolutely,
Larry. It was an absolute pleasure, man. I really
enjoyed it.
Thank you. Really did. We'll have you back on, and we're
really
all
are good, Larry.
Yeah, we really are a good Larry. We're all better off for having met you, bro.
No doubt about it. I enjoyed it,
guys. I think you have a nice show. Just trying to spread the word of your job, and I think.
Listen, when you go that retiree thing, send some names our way. If you want some guys to come on the show, some old timers.
There's plenty. There's a lot of guys out there. I can't even hold my nozzle to them. Just there's this guy.
You gotta get them on before they croak.
That's what I'm saying. Send them. Ask them if they want to be on, and send us their information. We'll get them on the show, man. This has to spread. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Petey, you want to take us out, buddy?
Yeah, stand by, Larry. We're going to say goodbye to you after, but everybody who is here now, guys, you can also listen to this fine audio podcast if you're on your way to the gym, if you're driving along, or if you're just hanging out on iTunes Podcast, Spotify, or wherever fine audio podcasts are found. And also, guys, you're here now at youtube.com/Gettin Salty Experience. And if you are here still, I see there's a bunch of you here. Take your fingers out, hit the like button.
Like it, will you? Come on. How many people like it already?
And also, freaking subscribe. I'm not asking for your money every month. Just subscribe, bro. It's free. Come on. And share. Share with your friends.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Call your friend.
Tell a fireman.
Say hello. Please tell someone that we are here and we're ready to rock. Also, guys, if you're on Instagram, head on over to @SaltyDogInc, where you will find great fire photos and Mr. Refrano's last-minute info for the show. Guys, GettinSaltyApparel.com is where you can find the coolest firefighter gear and accessories. Thanks to everyone who supported us in the super chat tonight.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate that from all of you guys out there. Guys, also, if you have a question for the show, for our Q&As, which are usually Monday nights, it's gettinsaltyexperience@gmail.com. And guys, for the Cup of Joe and some Fuego, that's going to be koobspodcast@gmail.com for all of your hot fire photos, helmet cam videos, anything like that you got out there, your rigs, your father-son photos. What else, Koobs? What am I missing?
I got a new one. I know I'm gonna.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna regret this again.
Oh my
Listen
God!
to me. If you got any good pictures of a really talented chauffeur shooting the sticks up in a place you're like, holy shit, how do you get those sticks up there, bro? Send it to me. Send me some good, even if an engine chauffeur, if you got water, send me those pictures, bro. I want to give a shout out to the chauffeurs.
All right. Shout out to the chauffeurs. And last but not least, guys, Facebook. If you're on there, there's a fans page. We don't run it. We are not even admins on it. We're just the guests of the group. But it is the Gettin' Salty fans page. Guys, tons of memes, funny stuff, and a lot of the brothers just sharing info. It's a great page. Love it. I wake up to a ton of fire stuff every single day. Gettin' Salty fans, guys. That's awesome. And that, my friends, is everything.
Come out and see us at Hofstra if you want to see Fat Daddy Ray and Mike Milner have a slap fight. Come on out and
you're gonna be slapping some droopy
Slapping
bottoms.
each other with the hot mops.
Yeah, with the hot mops.
They're up there slapping each other with the mops. I fired them down.
Fire them down into the yard. Yeah.
Then my wife
All right,
gets out there.
fellas.
She thinks she's funny. I fire her down onto the pavement.
Yeah, man. Awesome. All right, guys. Listen, thanks for tuning in. And Larry Mack. Guys were saying in the chat, best guest ever. Really. You made an impression on this guy. I can tell you that. Right
Yeah,
now.
it was great to get to know your story. You know, you can know guys and names on the job, but until it's another thing. Until you hear their story and get all the stories and funny stories and sad stories. I mean, that's the best part.
Yeah. And the Cheese Man says he's coming too. Cheese is coming out to Hofstra. I want to see you there, Cheese.
Cheese,
Awesome.
let's have a little tussle. Me and you, buddy.
Oh,
cheeseburger.
Really? Excellent.
I'm going with cheese.
I think I'll take
all right.
I'll take.
All
I
right,
think
fellas. Listen, we'll see you on Monday night, or we'll see you at the show live. Whatever you want to do. Until then, stay low and go.
Hang on, Larry.
Yep.
All right, we'll see everybody at the big one.
Cheers, brothers.
Thank you.